It's good timing.
It is in fact rare that something chaos happens and you're positive about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
everyone's going to assume you knew well in advance since you've recently painted Fabulous Bill.
Oh yeah, but I painted him when that guy won.
When you copied the LGT winning list.
Yeah.
And then lost.
Yeah. But I didn't have all the units, plus I'm not some kind of...
You're not a genius Frenchman.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this rather chilly, wintry Thursday here in the south coast of the UK. You wonderful humans are back for day 12 of Grot-mas.
Yeah, but the
14 detachments, and 2 tomorrow, supposedly.
Is
But
it?
they've only said that 1 is Eldar. So it might be that both are up. We don't know. 2 detachments
I
tomorrow.
reckon it'll only be 1 elder. They're not going to give... Because how many's in the codex?
Is your mic on? Have you muted your mic?
If Eldar get 2 detachments and then 7 in a Codex,
I didn't even put it on.
that'd be so
Oh
annoying.
my god. Oh my god.
I was
Such a professional,
I
Joe.
was so drawn into the talkie talks about chaos.
This is how excited Joe is about the new detachment
Yeah.
that he
Can
can't
you hear me
even
now?
put a mic on.
You hear me now?
Hear me now.
Oh my lord, chat.
Sorry, get it. Yeah, no, pay monkeys, get monkeys.
Pay monkeys, get monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Joe's here with me today, and of course, GW, clearly because they watch the channel and all the content that we do, they know that Liam and Joe shows are on Thursdays, and so they dropped the Chaos Space Marines Grot-mas detachment on a Thursday because they knew that we'd be here to talk about it. So we're going to do that. Tom's, I haven't yet set up a second camera for the podcast area yet, but I'm going to do that in the future because Tom seems to be here many Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Many.
But this time we've just mic'd him from the start.
yeah.
I'm
So-
allowed to speak today.
Currently, he's still a discombobulated head that no one's seen.
Yeah.
So for now,
Could look like anything.
yeah, we have to ease people in really gently in case they don't last.
Pretty much.
So we'll see. We'll see.
He's the best so far, so that's all right.
Yeah, well, that's strong, Joe,
That's-
since you're one of them as well.
The volunteers.
Tom remembered to put his mic on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If it helps, I put all the batteries in.
You did, yeah,
Yeah.
you did do that, yeah.
And then I went onto the toilet.
Of
I was
course.
like, I'll leave that there because I don't take it with me when I go for a wee wee.
Yeah. All right. So we're back with another day of Grot-mas. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash all those magical YouTube buttons for us. Hit like if you enjoy the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already. And you can hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified when we go live and drop a new video. Alternatively, you can become a member of the Great Hall or be lucky enough to be gifted a member to the Great Hall. At which point, if you're in Discord, you can hit the reaction rolls and it will notify both when we go live, drop a new video, or when we schedule a stream.
Yeah.
Right? So then you don't miss streams because you get notified when we schedule them, normally at least an hour to 2 hours before we even go live. You're like, right, I can prepare my life so I can sit and watch the content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Today is yet another day. Oh, I get to play a game of 40k tonight as well, Joe.
You do.
I said to
God,
this,
how long has it been?
like 4 or 5 weeks.
Jesus.
So I played either 40k or AS, I think, properly. So I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Hence Eldar jumper. We have not got your Tyranid Christmas jumper yet.
Well, it's at home
Is it?
somewhere.
Is it for next week?
Yeah, I was about to say that. I need to go look in my garage, basically. Yeah. 'Cause
Anywho.
the Christmas jumpers haven't made out of the garage yet.
Anywho, I need to get my mask.
I've got my Santa hat, which I've been wearing for stream.
You have, I
like,
noticed,
Until I get
yeah.
sweaty.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we do have a brand new detachment for you wonderful people today in the flavour of Chaos Space Marines. Now, before we jump into the detachment, it would be fair to say, it's almost definitely fair to say, Chaos Space Marines are probably Joe's favourite detachment, favourite army in general.
Yeah.
Now, perhaps not currently his favourite army to play in Warhammer 40k, but his favourite thing in the existence of Warhammer 40k is Chaos Space Marines.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Both narratively, historically on the tabletop at
Yeah.
least. So it's also fair to say, with the current state of Chaos Space Marines in the Codex, according to this individual at least, that you're not loving them right now and you're quite nervous about today's detachment.
Yeah, I was very, very nervous.
Yeah.
To the point where I'd resigned myself to it was just going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I was like, it's going to be terrible.
Also got excited yesterday when they showcased the article around the Emperor's Children design for the weapons.
Oh, yeah, I was like banging.
And because you're nervous about that as
I was
well.
really nervous
Joe's
about
basically
them.
got himself to a point where he expects everything Chaos Space Marines released by Games Workshop to be shit.
Yeah.
That would track, to be
Because
fair.
I saw the helmets and I was like, oh, that's not. They're very like
don't.
Noop Noop, aren't they? From like
Yeah.
like ooh.
I don't know if they're really
faces.
doing themselves favours by releasing stuff that's still in their program. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't look quite right
I
when
was
it's
like-
not an actual, fully formed thing.
Yeah, I was a bit scared. But then I saw the guns and the sword yesterday, and they're basically a copy paste of the heresy stuff.
Yeah,
so
they
I was
look
like,
good, don't they?
good.
look good.
Yeah, the
We're
guns
okay.
look good for
Yeah,
sure.
guns look fine.
Sword's a sword.
Yeah, it's the heresy sword as well. So I think as a range, I think they're going to be all right.
Yeah. And today's detachment, this is a bit of a spoiler, not a spoiler, this is just to give you guys a heads up. It got sent out quite early today. Normally it's midday, and I think they put it up about 11:30. So we actually did have a look at it before the stream, because I was like, are we going to have... I basically was sat here thinking to myself, we're going to have a happy or sad Joe for the stream. How am I going to have to manage this?
The Space Marine one we got yesterday, and then they're like Chaos Space Marine, like they're bad brothers. And I was like, oh, it's just going to be a copy paste of this one, but just somehow worse.
I was expecting like a Chaos Space Marine, like Shadow of Chaos thing again for Marine.
Well,
Yeah, just copy paste the demons one.
Yeah.
or like I was like, it could be if they're going to bring back an old detachment, which they have. But if they bring back an old detachment, I was like, it could be the Bellicor one, because obviously there's been loads of talk about demons coming into the normal Chaos Space Marine lines. So I was like, it could be that one, or we could have one that's all based around possessed. Although this one weirdly does work very well with them, but. Yeah.
Well, let's just jump into it, shall we?
Right.
So we do, as always, have this magical screen available for you people, so we can show you the detachment from the Warhammer community page. This is Grot-mas calendar day 12 that launched today, the naughty list, right? The naughty list, Joe, you're a naughty list person. The Primogenitor has been very generous with his gifts in Grot-mas, and nowhere near is this more apparent than in the new detachment for Chaos Space Marines. Creations of Bile.
Yeah.
I saw this and I was instantly like, okay, cool, I'm happy with this.
Yeah, I saw the thumbnail and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, good.
I guess that is basically the one detachment they haven't done, isn't it?
Yeah, and to be fair, the thumbnail yesterday was Imperial Fist. It was about Psychers, so it doesn't always track.
Oh, yeah.
They have psychers.
they do have Psychers, yeah. Abhorrent warbands of augmented Chaos Space Marines, the creations of Bile display the depths of the Primogenitor's dark genius, whether devoted to fabulous Bile's search for prized specimens and forbidden knowledge, or bartered to ambitious warlords in return for great riches. These warriors are augmented beyond the gene smithing and the warp-born mutations so as to expand the web of the clone father's sinister influence. Yeah. More AI-generated nonsense. Actually, this might not even be AI-generated. It's just, let's put fancy words in.
Honestly, these mess with my dyslexia so much.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm normally pretty good at reading things aloud.
Yeah.
It's hard for me as well. Each new experiment the Spider undertakes is intended to improve upon the works of the Corpse Emperor and render the transhuman form of a Space Marine more lethal. In battle, his creations utilise their enhanced strength, speed, aggression, and endurance to weather the fields of killing fire, plunge into the midst of the enemy, and tear their victims apart, even as their genetic mutations begin to overwhelm their altered forms. Experimental augmentations allow Chaos Space Marines to enhance their infantry units, either with a single augmentation chosen by the player or with two randomly generated augmentations. With these modifications, Chaos Space Marines can be made faster, more ferocious, or even harder to kill. Enhancements.
Adam's just phoned me.
Has he?
He
Why?
might be outside.
Okay.
I've just messaged him and been like,
Okay.
what do you want?
You might have to go and let him in.
Yeah.
But he'll have to sit quietly in the corner somewhere.
Yeah.
Enhancements provide... It's almost like we do the Liam and Joe show 1:30 every single Tuesday and Thursday.
Every time he's been here.
Yeah. Enhancements provide huge benefits for those willing to undergo the surgeries of Bile's Churigan. Prime Subject, for example, makes a combat monster out of any character with re-roll to hits and increased damage. For the truly power-hungry, the delayed mutation strategy allows a second or third augmentation on a unit, though the recipient might find that you can have too much of a good thing. This is what got me excited, which is sad when we haven't even got to the rules yet. He's just in chat now, Joe. What time should I get there, gents? Half one. Grot-mas, of course, shows us that there's no such thing as too much of a good thing, which is why we have two detachments tomorrow. We've looked into the future and see that Aldaria next. Farseers might be finally hard to get presents for, but they've planned for this. So I actually think we're going to get two Aldaria detachments.
Surely
Which
not.
is so
Please no.
stupid. Because they're getting 7 in the
They'll
book,
have
aren't
9 detachments.
They get 8 in the book, I think.
They get 8.
I thought they get
10 detachments.
It might be 7. You might be right.
I feel like it's 7.
I feel like it's 7.
From the preview show. But
Two!
surely...
Right, GW!
And they said,
Right, lads!
They did say that the Christmas detachments are separate to the ones that come in the book and will be used.
Well, if you read it, it says, we have 2 detachments tomorrow. We've looked into the future and seen that the Aldari are next. Farseers might be famously hard to get presents for, but they've planned for this.
Right, when the Assassins Custodes one came out, did they say Custodes and Assassins are coming out the next day?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. So Eldar getting 2.
Yeah.
I think Eldar are getting 2, which makes me very excited, but I'm
Me
incredibly
very
biased.
sad.
I'm incredibly biased.
I don't need more Eldar in my life.
More Eldar! We've got Eldar tonight as well against the new Custodians attack.
Well, why don't we do Eldar Chaos on Tuesday?
Well, Brom's supposed to play because he gets to play in Christmas week then, but
Oh, that's true, yeah.
we can. Right, okay, so we have to now go and find in this mess of recently updated
Yeah, this is
where
fun.
the Chaos
If you
one
scroll
is.
all the way down,
No, I know.
there's
I
a
just
section
like,
that says
I just
Grot-mas.
like to take the piss, Joe, quite honestly.
It bugs me that this isn't in release order either.
It's not. Is it even alphabetical?
No.
It's just random.
Creations of Bile. So here's their main detachment rule they talked about. Experimental augmentations, words, Liam. At the start of the battle, which is good because you can tailor based on your opponent. Select which augmentations are active for Heretic Astartes infantry models, excluding Damned, from your army until the end of the battle. To do so, either select 1 from the list below or randomly determine 2 by rolling 2d6. If Fabulous Bill is your warlord, when randomly determining your augmentations, you can reroll 1 or both of the dice.
Do you know what this is?
Duplicated augmentations have no additional effect. What?
That's Drakari combat drugs.
Yes, it is.
Basically.
From
It's
9th
what-
edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
So you've got 6 different ones that you can pick, and they obviously have the corresponding dice number next to them. So you can either choose one of these, or you can randomly roll and get 2. If you roll a duplicate, for example, if you roll double 4 without Fabulous Bill, you wouldn't get +2 to your toughness. You just get +1 to toughness. If you have Fabulous Bill, you can choose to reroll one of those 4s and pick a different one. So a 1 gives you add 1 to your tax characteristics of melee weapons. A 2 gives you add 2 to the move characteristic. A 3 improve weapon skill of melee weapons by 1. A 4 increase toughness by 1. A 5 add 1 to strength of melee weapons. And a 6, the only one that affects ranged, add 1 to ballistic skill by 1. All decent choices.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I do
All
think
decent choices.
it's a little bit of a shame they didn't put in any extra caveats for if you roll a double. So like if you could get something extra if you roll a double, because if you're going random, you're kind of handicapping yourself anyway.
I kind of like the concept that if you roll a double, you get to pick 2.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
But your first one has to correspond.
Yeah, you've got to pick the one
to the
you've
double.
rolled, and then you pick another
So
one.
if you rolled a double 2, you have to have +2 move, but you get to pick the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been really nice.
But I guess that'd be...
Still think it's really good though.
I
It's just
100%.
like that'd be a nice little extra.
I honestly think the whole thing is really, really good.
Yeah.
Is really good. Because like against certain opponents, you're going to be like, I have to pick this. Like, so for instance, if you're going against Death Guard and they go, cool, I'm going to take the -1 weapon skill. Or you go, cool,
Oh,
I
yeah,
take
that's a
+1
good
weapon
point.
skill. You know?
That would depend on when people pick at the start of the battle. But you're right. The fact that you can customize per game, even in between picking one and randomly rolling, because you might come up with an opponent where you go, I don't actually. There's nothing like I'm just going to get 2 bonuses.
I said to Tom, who plays World Eaters, I'm like against World Eaters, I'm not going to take +1 toughness because everything in his army is really, really strong. So it doesn't really matter, you know. +2 move doesn't really help me because he's super, super fast, so he comes at me. +1, so I'm like, maybe +1 attack, or it's like, or I just roll it and see what I get. You know, there's no negative.
Think the +2 move might be a bit of a go-to if you're being super try-hard, because obviously like movement wins games a lot of the time, doesn't it?
Dan says it says duplicates have no effect. It doesn't. It says duplicated augmentations have no additional effect.
Yeah.
Not no effect. That's why I think it would have been nice if you roll a double. It would have been nice to give you something. If
Yeah.
you roll a double 4, you just get +1 toughness.
you
That's
go-
it.
It's a bit sad if you've like tried to do the fun version of it, and then you're just like, no, one thing.
Or you go,
Which is random.
you go up 1, down 1, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if you roll,
definitely.
because I think that's what the combat drugs used to be. If you rolled a double 4, you could pick either 3 or 5.
Yeah. But as a core detachment rule, I actually really like it.
I really like it.
Lots
I
of
think it's really
flexibility. It can be fun with rolling. It can be a tactical choice with
Yeah, like
picking.
it's fun for casual, isn't it? Because you're just going to roll the double every time.
Yeah, and if you think like +1 to hit, either ballistic skill or weapon skill, is essentially sustained hits like 5. Because all the 2s and 1s, you're essentially picking
Well,
back.
it's
all
like
the 2s you're
sustained
picking up
ones,
and-
essentially, I think is the fair
Yeah.
comparison.
There are a couple in here as well where if you do choose to roll random and you get lucky, there's some really strong combinations you get in here.
Yeah, imagine +2 move and +1 toughness.
Is
That's
decent, right?
so good.
We then jump into the 4 enhancements. I don't think any of them are bad, Again, I do look at these and think, what was your thoughts on the pointing of these?
The points are a bit mental.
They're a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
We start off with a single 10-point enhancement that gives Astartes model melee weapons precision.
Yeah.
Not bad. 10 points.
I think that's solid
That's
for
good.
10.
I was like, Demon Prince.
I'd have said Chaos Lord.
Yeah, Chaos Lord is
Yeah.
good, but like a Demon Prince just flies in, it's like, blah!
This one
That'd be
also,
cool as well, yeah.
This one also, as Joe's alluded to there, this one also isn't restricted to infantry models. Just
Yeah.
Astartes model gets precision. That's really nice. Living Carapace for 15 points. Chaos Lord model, add 1 to the wounds characteristic of the bearer and feel no pain 5 up. Imagine stacking that on a Chaos Lord in Terminator armor with the +1 toughness, toughness 6, 4 up in Vun, 2 up save, 5 up feel no pain, extra wound. Becomes a real tough beat
Half
stick.
damage.
Yeah, half the damage, Chaos Lord. Yeah.
Oh, that
That's
as well.
pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Toughness
Really
6
nice.
as well if you
Yeah.
go
So,
with that.
so far, both good. 25 points, Heretic Astartes infantry model excluding damned. Enemy units that are set up within the battlefield from reserves cannot be set up within 12. This one is where I'm like, the other two I think are just flat better for less points.
This one
isn't
would have
bad.
been
Yeah.
would have been great 2 days ago.
Yeah, this is good before balanced data slate. It's bad now all 3-inch deep strikes have been nerfed to 6 inches.
I don't know what character you'd put it on.
Before I would have said, find your cheapest character, slap it on him, stick it on your home objective.
Well, it's like, the thing is though, that there is an argument to putting it on a Chaos Lord in Terminator armor and just putting him on your home objective. Like, cool, take it off me.
Oh, I don't know, it's quite a lot of points just for like
Yeah,
the
but-
Chaos Terminator to sit around at the back.
Yeah, but he's he's toughness 6, half stall damage, 2 up, 4 up.
1 OC.
1 OC, but he's like, cool. You have to run onto the objective to try and take it off him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's cool.
It's good. It's a good It's a good enhancement. But at 25 points, you can literally take the other two we've talked about.
Yeah,
I
the
would
same
do
points
that.
cost.
I would do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that it's good. But
And I would definitely take this last one.
it's good, but it's possibly the worst one because we've gone to prime test subject. 35 points. I looked at them and 35 points. Then I read it and I was like,
a fucking
probably,
reason.
Adeptus, Heretic Astartes, infantry model, excluding damned only. Add 1 to the damage characteristic of melee weapons equipped by the bearer. Each time the bearer makes a melee attack, you can re-roll the hit roll. That's not, especially on things like
Slap that on your Chaos Lord.
Thunderhammer Lords, Masters of Executions, solid enhancements.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 good enhancements. One is probably the worst, but it's not a bad enhancement.
No.
The rest are all just, I think, stronger, right? Really, 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 really like the enhancement list. We go into stratagems. There are 6 stratagems. 2 are 2 CP, 4 are 1 CP. I
think
have
they-
a thought on this. We'll go through them, but I have a thought on this, which I'll talk about at the end, okay? So we start off with the first one, Monstrous Visages, okay? Single CP, your opponent's shooting or fight phase, it picks its targets, you then spend this 1 CP, and it's -1 to the hit roll.
I love it.
Great.
It's an extra stealth.
It's the first kind of, well, first is the first, it's the only kind of real defensive strat that Chaos Space Marines have got in the fight phase and the shooting phase.
It's lightning fast for Eldar,
Yeah, yeah.
for Chaos Infantry.
Oh, it's not just shooting, is it?
Yeah.
It's fight as well.
Oh,
It's
that
lightning
is-
fast. It's really
that
good.
is solid.
1 CP, very, very strong, right? Masters are watching for a single CP. Enemy fight phase, it selects its targets. You pick your infantry unit. Every time a unit's killed, you don't remove it from play. On a 4+, you can fight on death, right? So 4+ fight on death for 1 CP. One of Joe's favourite types of stratagems is fight on death.
I think it's great. I think it's possibly one of the most powerful stratagems in the game. Not just competitively, but it also like forces your opponent to really think about where they put their units.
Yeah, because they've got to think about the worst case scenario where
Yeah.
you roll all 4-ups.
They also have added a caveat here as well, that if you use it on damned units, you can still use it on damned units, which is interesting because
Yeah.
the army rules all exclude damned units. You can use it, but it's -1, so you'll fight them on 5s.
Yeah.
I
So
think
you'll
that's
probably
fair.
never see it on damned units, but I like the fact they gave you the option at least.
Lesser Curse Cultist is fine with me.
Yeah.
We then go into 2 CP stratagems. The first one I think is okay. The second one, we'll talk about that at the time, right? So fight phase, Heretic Astartes infantry unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, each time a model unit makes a melee attack that targets a character unit, you can re-roll the wound roll. That already makes it good.
Well, if you
It's
think,
good at 1 CP.
Yeah.
It's average at 2.
well, if you think your Chaos Lord, if you give him the best day ever,
I was thinking, Chaos
he
Lord.
goes to
reduce
he
it by
go-
1.
so he gets +1 damage from the enhancement, and then you go best day ever, which gives you +1 attack, +1 strength, +1 damage. So his thunder hammer is now damage 4.
Also, he's re-rolling hits off the enhancement.
Yeah, so he's re-rolling hits and re-rolling wounds.
And he can make it cheaper, obviously, for a CP. Because
So
I think you probably only want to spend 1 CP on this.
So yeah, you do. So the 2 CP makes this a bit much, I think. There is an additional part to it. After you've fought, if one or more enemy character models were destroyed as a result of these attacks, select an enemy unit within 6 inches of your unit. That enemy unit must take a battle shock test. If an enemy warlord was destroyed as a result of those attacks, each enemy unit within 6 inches of your unit must take a battle shock test instead. So you can have an explosion aura of battle shocks. There's no negatives. I feel like if the warlord was slain, enemy units taking battle shock at -1 would make more sense. And we are seeing, as per the balance status like yesterday, a lot more -1 for battle shock coming in, which is making it actually more of a thing than it was before.
I kind of feel like he just wants to go, if you've killed a character, if it's 2 CP, you go, if I've killed a character, you go, that unit there's battle shocked. There's no rolling, just they become battle shocks. Because that's what
I would
we
like
don't
to see
have
some
in the
rules
game
like
at the
that,
moment.
which literally just automatically battle shock someone, because I feel like they're kind of scared to do it.
So 2 CP, you get a lot for 2 CP, but the latter 2 parts are quite situational.
Yeah, we were saying we'd rather have the first half for 1 CP.
Yeah.
But
I feel like
it's still cool.
Reroll wounds versus character units 1 CP would be fine.
Yeah.
I don't think we need all that extra.
Well, the thing is, though, like there's so many character units in the game now as well.
Yeah.
It's basically every unit, really, apart from tanks.
Yeah. Delayed mutations. So this one, 2 CP, you pick it in your command phase, you select an infantry unit from your army, you suffer D3 mortal wounds, and then you select an augmentation. Until the start of your next command phase, models in your unit have the selected augmentation in addition to any other augmentations they have. Now, in a pinch, gaining a weapon skill or a strength, okay, I see it, but 2 CP and you take mortals?
This is not worth 2 CP.
2 CP take no mortals, okay.
I
There's
think
quite a few strats in the game that are similar to this, like in Gladius or whatever, where you're like, okay, I'm going to put this thing in this doctrine. They're all 1 CP, and none of them make you kill your own guys.
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really good clutch stratagem. Right?
Yeah.
So, say for instance, there's a unit on an objective, and it's like not a great charge away. Like you move plus charge. So you go, cool, I'll take D3 mortal wounds, I'll get the extra 2 movement, which will put me in a really easy charge, or it'll just put me on that
If you
objective.
haven't selected that as your one anyway.
Yeah.
This is the one strat out of the lot that I think you'll see used the less. Again,
Yeah.
there are some exceptions. Chaos Lords make them -1 CP.
Yeah, that'll be all right.
That's okay then at 1 CP.
Or if you know your opponent's got a unit that's like -1 to hit, you go, cool, I'll get my unit +1 to hit, versus it. So it just does a bit.
I just think it would have been fine if it was 1 CP.
I
to be
think 1
honest.
CP if you take D3 mortals is fair.
Yeah.
2 CP if you took no mortals is probably fair.
Yeah.
We've got in between here for some reason.
I think it's a weird. I almost prefer if they'd given you. Oh, it was a 1-2 CP.
Oh, that would be better, yeah.
So, because they've done it with other armies, right? So if you've picked your augmentation, it's 1 CP, you take D3 mortal wounds. If you've got 2 augmentations, it's 2 CP to give you a third.
Or it could be
Okay.
1 CP, you get a random augmentation.
Yeah.
2 CP
Just roll a dice.
Yeah, I think look, the stratagem itself is cool.
It's the thing is though, it's still a good stratagem.
The stratagem's
There are
cool.
uses
It's
for it.
useful.
The problem is when you look at the 4 1 CP strats and then you think this is 2 CP, you're probably not going to use it all that often.
No.
Because we then go into diabolic regeneration. 1 CP in your command phase, a Heretic Astartes infantry unit from your army, one destroyed model, excluding character models, is returned to a unit.
In a
If
battle
your unit is
line.
battle line, D3 destroyed models are returned to a unit instead, 1 CP. And then the thing that made Joe full mast, auto stimulants,
Yeah.
1 CP, charge phase, start of your charge phase, 1 heroic, so start of the charge phase is important, 1 Heroic Astartes infantry unit from your army. Until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. Now, if you think advance and charge for 1 CP, apothecary for 1 CP, fight on death for 4 up 1 CP, and
Might as well hit 1
lightning
CP.
fast reactions for 1 CP. This is why I think that 2
Oh,
CP,
you're
1 CP.
Yeah,
using the last 2 every time.
Hilariously, the 4 best stratagems in the detachment are 1 CP.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what I said it before we started reading these these stratagems out, I just don't see the 2 CP ones being used very often because the other 4 are so good.
Yeah.
When you then stack them onto main rulebook strats, grenades, fight interrupt, heroic intervention, Overwatch, like I just don't see those 2 CP strats being used.
So I've been thinking about it in my head, always thinking.
It can't be D3 Terminator's Escapade, they're not battle line.
Yeah.
I'd take it for a Terminator though.
Yeah.
To get one back.
Yeah, so like...
Because getting a guy back also just gives you extra movement.
Yeah, it gives you way more movement. So like, so part of me is like, in this one, because obviously I really, really like Abaddon.
No!
Do you?
Lies, Joe!
Bullshit.
Lies and slander.
Right.
You complain about him so much though.
Yeah, he is 280 points. Right?
He is, yep, correct.
That's 3 Chaos Lords.
It is, yep.
Right, so...
Where's he going?
No, so basically what? So you've got Abaddon, who is an absolute fucking murder beast.
Yeah.
Right? Giving him +1 attack puts him at 9 attacks, which is terrifying, by the way, and toughness 6 Abaddon.
You can get an obliterator back.
Joe.
Yeah.
Fair
For 1
play,
CP.
Charles. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Oh!
That is so good.
It's really, really good.
A blitz being infantry is mental.
So I think in this detachment, you're either going into a situation where you go, no Abaddon, spread the CP spend out, or 3 CPs basically with multiple lords, or you just go, how do I make Abaddon as terrifying as possible?
I think you could just full invest into Abaddon with like full 10 Terminators, and then either give them +2 move or +1 toughness.
I've just found, 10 Terminators is just overkill.
The only thing I will say, so I've got a couple of things I want to throw out here. The first one's quite relevant to what you've just been saying. The one thing I will say is if you take Abaddon, what you can't do at that point, as we found out earlier, is you can't make Fabulous Bill your warlord.
Yeah.
That's true.
Fabulous Bile, by the way, obviously. But Fabulous Bill can't be a warlord. And I feel like having him as the warlord for that potential redundancy of re-rolling those 2 dice is quite tasty.
Yeah.
And when you think about the enhancements, you're going to want more characters. You want 3. You want probably 2, if not 3 of those enhancements.
You want the Chaos Lord and Terminator for the tankiness. You want the Chaos Lord for the murderness, and then you probably want Fabulous Bill.
Yeah,
So-
I'd say you probably want another Chaos Lord with precision.
And Abaddon,
could do.
If you remove the 3 Chaos Lords in trade for Abaddon, at 280 points, he's a couple of infantry units, and this impacts infantry units. And the reason why I think that's important is because my second statement, I want to know what you think about this, and you for that matter, Tom, as well, actually.
Yeah.
I look at this detachment now for Chaos Space Marines, and there's a little part of me that thinks that this is probably their best option now. Those 4 stratagems are so usable in almost every situation.
Yeah. So
I would say I think it's their best melee detachment.
Okay.
I might not say it's their best shooting detachment.
So their best shooting detachment is Pack Bound.
It's because crit 5s, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
But the problem is if you're not doing all shooting, if you're going mixed or combat,
I think if you want
this is
combat
the best.
infantry, this is the way to go.
because the reason
if-
the reason why this is the all-round best one, like if you're going to go which is the best one out of all of them, this is the best one because it's got 2 defensive strats. You've got -1 to hit, fight on
-1
death,
hit is very
right?
good.
Auto signatures advance and charge. You only get advance and charge in Pack Bound Zealots if you're Slanesh.
Or if you have chosen.
Or if you have chosen. But in this one, you've got chosen.
I think
and
in this
another
one, you
unit.
double down with the advance and charge.
Yeah.
And you obviously chosen, just do it.
Yeah.
And then you
I-
get a Chaos Lord to spend a CP.
I read this detachment, and knowing your preference to melee over range, I instantly thought this is going to be Joe's new go-to.
Yeah,
Elijah
100%.
says in chat, you have to have Bile on this for it to work. You don't. You
You don't.
absolutely
I think
you
the
have
only
Bile in
thing
the army.
Fabulous Bile, the only thing he gives you is if you roll random, you can re-roll them.
Yeah,
That's all he gives you.
This attachment, you put Bile every time into a unit of chosen.
Yeah.
Because then he makes them toughness 6.
but even then,
If you
you can
choose
still
it.
take Bile and Abaddon.
Yeah.
You just can't make Bile the
I
Warlords.
think you either build your list based on if you were going to choose one, or you build your list based on if you're trying to get the double with Bile.
But this also gives you really cool narrative lists as well. So like I said, if you take, if you could do a really cool narrative Night Lords detachment, right? You don't even have to have Bile in the army at
No.
all, right? So you've got a Night Lords army that's like really good. Like you can take 30 Raptors, 30 Warp Talons, and then you can take 30 of the new what they're called, the teams. I literally used them earlier.
Oh, the Night Lords kill team.
The Night Lords kill team,
Oh,
right?
I don't remember what they're called, but yeah, they're really good.
I'm going to talk about them in a minute. Right? And then you
Joe's
take
new
loads of
favourite
Chaos Lords in there, and your entire army could move 14 inches, or the entire army hits on 2s,
Yeah.
or you could make them more stronger or tough. I think you could make it much more functional than the existing Night Lords detachment.
Yeah.
That is Doggers.
I agree.
Right.
And I just says Bile is so good, but he's not.
You don't.
He doesn't.
Really,
You don't gain anything from having him in the detachment unless he's a warlord.
Bile is good just because he's good.
Bile's good in every detachment.
Yeah, like you would take him in a lot of them, I think.
I think Bile's good in every detachment. I would argue he's less good in this detachment, unless you make him your warlord.
if
where
you
want to
if you want to go
Nemesis
full
because
warlord,
what does Bile
There
give
you
you?
go.
It gives you +1 toughness on a unit.
Well, +1 strength and toughness.
Yeah,
and he
you give that-
blanks save,
Oh, he blanks a save on the unit to 0, and he gets back up when he dies.
but he
To
does
one
have
unit.
the worst
to 1 unit.
to what unit?
to his unit.
So in this attachment, you can take +1 toughness on your whole infantry army.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So at this point, I don't think Bile is better in this army.
Yeah.
Yes, you can stack the toughness in a single unit, granted, okay, and you can get a single unit of chosen up to toughness. What are they base 5?
4 up to 6 would be
4 up to 5,
if
and then
you
plus
double
one
it.
Yeah, so 6.
So
Yeah.
so you get chosen stuff to 6, cool. But
That is good though. to be
I'd
fair.
argue he's almost like if you make him the warlord for those rerolls,
Yeah.
And I think I personally am I love Abaddon.
Yeah.
I adore the model. I like the rules offensively. Defensively, he still concerns me. I think that those 300 odd points, I would make Fabius Bile my warlord, and I'd
Yeah.
drop Abaddon personally. But I know that he's one of your favourites of all
He is
time.
my faves,
Busy
but
boy.
this detachment makes him harder to kill in the sense that you can now make him -1 to hit. Like it's all down to whether your opponents are bringing characters that can precision him out, that are strong enough to precision him out of the unit.
Yeah, like Angrod.
Yeah, so there's
Escape, you can't get T5 cultists because the rules are infantry only, excluding damned.
yeah.
Correct.
There,
damned.
so
Toughness 7 possessed though is a vibe.
yeah.
Toughness 7% is a vibe.
Yeah, that
Yes.
sounds fun.
So and the detachment with T7 possessed, you can it makes an argument to actually run the Master of Possession now, because now he got much worse in 10th, because he used to give the unit a 6 that feel no pain.
Brian,
what does he
yeah.
do now?
He just gives you +1. He used to give you +1 advance, +1 charge,
Ooh.
and 5 up, and a 6 that feel no pain. The feel no pain's gone.
But still in this detachment,
But in
I'd
this
say
one, you could make the movement 11 with a +1 to advance and charge, and the
And the
unit
advance
gets
and
+1
charge.
and you get advance and charge.
yeah, that's
Brian
really
asks, is Cypher with CSM any good? Cypher is almost an auto-take competitively, simply because of the strat
I don't
aura.
know.
So right,
I
so what's
dunno.
interesting I've found with Cypher is that he's really, really good as like a home objective, like holder, because he just kind of sits there and just low knocks things, and people can't shoot him off. Otherwise, he just kind of just mills around.
Yeah, but you don't care about what he does apart from the fact that he stops stratagems.
This detachment makes him actually really, really viable. So
I think you probably take the Night Lords dudes over him, though, to be honest.
So what is good, right, is him and the Night Lords unit.
I think you only need one.
I think...
I don't think you need Cypher if you've got the Night Lords.
Well, no, because the Night Lords unit, for anyone that doesn't know, if you're in combat with them, if you're in engagement range of the Night Lords unit, you cannot use stratagems at all. So good.
It's
It is-
ridiculously powerful.
It's so
It is
powerful.
mental good.
Right?
I will say, though, against melee armies,
Against
it's
melee
insanely
armies, really.
good.
So that's
Shooting
why-
armies don't care.
That's why you need Cypher, right? Because then, so what you do is the Night Lords units and Cypher move up together, right? And against the shooting army, you go in, you tag a bunch of stuff, and then they're like, "Cool, I'm gonna fall out of combat and shoot," depending on when they have to play the stratagem. Because if you have to do it in the movement phase, they can't do it, right? Where if it's in the shooting phase, the Cypher's there to be like, it costs you +1 to do
Yeah.
kind of thing. So it's like it doubles up with lots of protection, and it also the amount of times that you can charge in Abaddon and the Night Lords, and then your opponent's like, "Cool, I'm going to interrupt." Yeah, cool, you can't.
Yeah, exactly,
I
like-
get you good precision. You can't. You
So,
can't do
so
anything.
in terms of fun, I'm not against. I'm not against. You mean in terms of what you're running, I'm not against you doing whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
In terms of fun, I think running Abaddon is still viable.
Abaddon's a great fun unit, but I think if you want to play this army
To play this to its
competitively
powers,
win, I don't think you take
I honestly think you take Fabius Bile as a warlord. 100% think you take him as a warlord, because I think that you're going to be the ability to walk to a table and go, it's an obvious choice, I'm picking one.
Yeah.
Or it's not really that obvious. I'm just going to take two and I get a reroll on both.
Yeah.
That's huge. It's really, really huge. Brian, I think that Cypher is still very, very strong in Chaos Space Marines because he gives you the Calidus Assassin vibes?
Yeah, she gives
It's
you
what's it called
Lord
now?
of
Lord of Deceit,
So
isn't it? Yeah.
So if you're within 12, it
I
costs
don't
+1.
think he's the best at doing it just because he dies real quick
Yeah,
when
you have to
he's
hide
near anyone.
But now he gets you can get him toughness 5. You know?
He's still going to die real quick.
Yeah. Is it +1 to go up?
I would toughness 5. I would actually give him. I would actually give him +2 move.
That would be more
Because
useful.
with loan up, that makes it better. What am I looking
I was going to say to the Strategems thing.
Which one are you looking for?
I was going to ask a really stupid question, but this is an AOS. Because I was like, did you get +1 attack to all of your weapons?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, because I was like in Age of Sigmar, you fight with all of them, whereas in 40k you pick one weapon and fight with that.
I think
The other thing with Bile is if you do go duplicates, it just kind of gives you a significantly higher chance of not having that. You've got to, but they're both the same.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. You could roll double 4, and then you could re-roll one and get a 4. Then you can re-roll the other one and get a 4. That's possible, but of course,
it's so
statistically,
unlikely.
statistically it's a lot less likely.
So unlikely.
So I personally think that, we've seen some bad from GW when you think Thousand Suns not good. Assassins fucking dreadful.
Pointless.
We've seen some exceptional Necrons.
Fucking
I
Necrons.
think this is above average.
I would
not exceptional.
This is better than the Space Marine one yesterday.
Oh, this is way
But
better than the Space Marine
Space Marine one is incredibly good because I need time to think. My brain is quite slow.
no.
You might
What?
not know this. So
No.
I have to. I'm not really good at reading something and making an immediate decision.
So lots
You
and
could
lots
have
and lots
stopped
and
at the
lots
first
of
half of
lots
that
and lots and
sentence.
lots of really fast super chats asking questions. And saying, Go.
Spam him.
So I'm gonna go for a weird.
Definitely not a bonus to me.
Brain will
Yeah,
melt.
so on reflection, yesterday's Space Marine one is really, really good with the new updates, right? If you're running 30 Stern Guard,
Oh,
in,
God,
right?
here we go.
But it's
Fucking 30 Sternguard Joe, honestly.
It
I'm
annoyed
going to
me
put that on your fucking headstone.
Yeah. It annoyed me
30
so much that detachment buffed Stone Guard, just because I know Joe was going to be like, I'm going to put 30 in my list.
Well,
I
I
think
think
you
you
just
put a
take one,
single.
you know.
No, so
I know it's the enhancement.
it's the one enhancement on one librarian in 10 Sternguard.
Yeah.
That's that. Okay.
Yeah.
And even then, I ran the maths
I don't think it's
yesterday.
even that good.
I ran the maths yesterday. It's good. It's not exceptional.
Yeah, but if your versus, I think the bolt rifles now are the best. Right?
Why?
Because
I've said this for ages.
just because of
Because they
like,
get assault heavy
Yeah.
and dev wounds.
Yeah.
Oh, on Stone Guard?
Yeah,
Oh,
and they
yeah,
get AP1 as standard.
Yeah.
So they don't get any infantry 4+, but they hit on 3s with assault heavy, dev wounds, and rapid fire.
But
They
and
damage
get
2
AP1.
or
Damage 1.
Okay.
But I thought because the combi weapons were better before because you only re-rolled ones, whereas now you re-roll everything. It's actually much more viable to run the bolt rifles because you get more shots.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's. I think it's a cool unit, but I don't think it's going to break anything.
We could set the world on fire. you could murder it.
Well, as I said, Joe,
Joe, we're
like,
40 minutes in.
Yeah.
oh my God.
I know. We're 40 minutes in.
Yeah, I know.
I don't understand.
Do you actually have a
You've
bladder?
had one
or does
cup
it
of tea
just
since you've been
run
here.
through
Yeah,
you?
but I had a couple.
Oh,
There goes my phone. Leaving. Good day, sir.
he's had too much.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I think this is a great detachment. Like, you've got all the enhancements have an argument to be taken. 4 of the stratagems do what you want. One of them you're probably never going to use, and one's a little bit too expensive, but you might
think-
use with a Chaos Lord.
Again, the other two stratagems, the two 2CP stratagems, if you've got the chaos, this makes me sad, but also makes this kind of work.
Yeah.
If you've got multiple Chaos Lords on the table, which he will run,
Everyone
because
will, yeah.
Chaos Lords are just good, and it makes me sad because narratively you shouldn't have more than one Chaos Lord in a 2,000 point
Probably
army.
not. I
But
mean,
let's
you
face
could
it,
take a martial executions if you felt like it.
very much
but
like what I
yeah.
said to you before we went live earlier, or was it to Joe? The way in which I've started to really fucking love Warhammer 40k and enjoy myself again is to get myself out of the negative 10th spiral,
Yeah.
where everyone goes, less rerolls though, less killy though. I'm like, yeah, we know that was bullshit.
never gonna
but now,
happen, was
18
it?
months later,
Yeah.
we know it was bullshit. I've just kind of accepted it
It's
now.
time to move on.
Yeah, exactly. And so I also think that 3 Chaos Lords in an army is bullshit, but it's 10th edition.
Yeah.
I've just kind of accepted that now. Cool. That's what happens. That's what it is. Fine. Whatever. So now I'm in that headspace. I accept the fact that we may see 3 Chaos Lords. And if you see 3 Chaos Lords and a Chaos Lord and Terminator armor, you've got 4 units then that can reduce CP cost by 1. Those other 2 then become interesting tools.
Yeah.
Reroll versus characters if you ignore the other gumph. And gain an augmentation.
Rerolling wounds against character units, I think you would definitely use when your Chaos Lord does his best day ever thing.
Yeah.
And you just absolutely send him into a unit.
If
and
you've got
beat
a couple of CP as well, here's interestingly thinking about this. So you've got a Chaos Terminator Lord and a unit of Chaos Terminators, right? For 2 CP, reduced to 1 CP, you take D3 mortals and you gain an extra augmentation.
Yeah.
Let's say, oh no, I rolled a 3 on my D3 mortals, I've killed a Terminator. Well, in the same command phase, I spend my extra CP that I've got and then bring that Terminator
Get a guy back.
He's back. It's free. It has cost me an extra CP.
Yeah.
But I also said at the start, I'd pay 2 CP to just gain an augmentation.
Yeah,
right?
I'd pay that.
So now, if you have a Chaos Lord in the unit, with Diabolic Regeneration, you essentially, if a guy dies, can just pay 2 CP to just get an augmentation.
Yeah, like I would 100% spend a CP to get a Terminator back every day of the week.
Yeah.
Or an obliterator.
Or an obliterator, because that's something that happens now.
It's utterly mad.
Yeah.
Because for some reason they're infantry.
Aren't you so glad we got you all those obliterator proxies?
Yeah. I think what's good, right?
Honestly, like, I almost think Joe wrote this fucking detachment. He's just got Bile, Chosen, Terminators, Obliterators all ready to go.
Well, that's what this detachment has essentially done, in my opinion, is it's taken the majority of what is in competitive CSM lists at the moment, the majority, not all, and gone, make them all better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, this is a counteract. So, after yesterday's update, I was a bit worried about Chaos Space Marines. Because obviously, normal Space Marines just went whoop,
Oh, yeah.
insane levels.
Balanced data slate?
Yeah.
Not if you read the Twitter comments.
My
favourite comment.
I don't go to Twitter.
My favourite comment on Twitter: nerfing AOC doesn't make sense in my already overpriced Space Marines. I was like, what?
Jesus Christ.
What are you smoking?
It's like
Overpriced.
When I walk up to a table with World Eaters versus like Blood Angels or something, and they literally have double the model count of me, and I'm just like, what is this?
if you're Iron Hands, right, you can take.
Did they get the heavy intercessors?
You can take 60 heavy intercessors for 1,200
That's
points.
mental.
Right?
It's like hyper
Yeah,
elite
you've still got
infantry
800. You put Ferris in, so you're looking at. You've still got 700 points.
And that'll be all tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's honestly quite a strong list.
Yeah.
Do they go to OC3? Oh my god.
Yeah, they do, yeah. With Iron Father, yeah.
Ooh.
Anyway, chat, 45 minutes into the show, we're now going to jump into your comments in terms of super chats and gifted memberships in the hope that we can get finished by the time Joe has told Adam to turn up for this evening. If you have thoughts on anything we've seen so far, including the balanced data set yesterday, but specifically around this Chaos Space Marines attachment, feel free to stick on a colourful postcard for us and Joe will badly read it out. Equally, if you decide to gift some memberships, 5 or more, you will get a Joe Wish, which so far I think we've got nearly 100% come true rate.
Yeah. So Dano says, oh, but it's Iron Hands. No, you could paint them all red, and then you can get Iron Father Ferios and paint him red for Blood Angels. Just don't run any Blood Angel characters or units.
That sounds wrong.
Then, you know.
It's 10th.
Yeah.
It's 10.
I know.
It literally doesn't matter
Joe,
what your
I thought
name
you were
is.
the
You could be
narrative
in.
guy, you know. Apparently not.
Only when it suits me.
Yeah.
In my argument at that
When
time.
it suits your particular argument.
Yeah.
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 I like how honest we're being online nowadays, Joe, in front of everyone.
Yeah.
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 You're just owning all the shit I've been saying for the last 24 months. I'm a fan of that.
Sometimes when I'm tired, I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But,
Right, Joe, hit me with some stuff.
Matt O'Reilly became a Jarl, all on his own sim.
What y'all talking about?
Yeah.
What a legend.
Right. Brother Alan for 5 gifted memberships.
Brother Alan.
Yeah. I hope that when you put on last year's Christmas jumper, it still fits.
This is cozy.
Yeah.
So this is the official Warhammer merch site one, right?
And they are snug.
So this is like the largest size they do. It's 3XL.
Yeah.
And it fits me like most of my XL jumpers, right? As you can tell, it literally just fits me. And I was like, know your customer base.
Yeah.
Like, you need to do bigger than 3XL.
They definitely do.
Why aren't they basically hockey jerseys?
Yeah, if it's this tight at 3XL, this has clearly been made in a Chinese sweatshop.
Honestly, the lowest size should be large.
It's like it's like
And be this big.
It's like when you buy. It's like when you buy clothes from Primark. You go, I got a 3XL t-shirt here. It's like I'm putting on a gimp suit. You know?
Yeah. So John sent us the best Christmas jumper we've ever been sent.
Yeah.
Right, which I don't think we've ever shown off before on the stream. I'll go get it in a second. Yeah. Best Christmas jumper we've ever been sent. But no one can wear it.
No.
Because it's a size XL, but it looks like it was made by what the Taiwanese think is XL.
Yeah.
It's not a big jumper.
So
I'm going to go get it. You need to give him a wish anyway.
I did.
The Christmas jumper was
Christmas
a wish.
jumper. Yeah.
I'm going to get the jumper.
Even better, it's baggy. You know, you lost weight since last Christmas. Thank you, Matt O'Reilly, who then, after becoming a member, gifted 5 members.
What a legend.
What a legend. I hope that if you ever have to change the light bulbs on your car, they're really easy to get to. Like literally, just click, take it out.
Did you change your light bulb yesterday?
I got it done at Halfords this morning.
Oh, did you?
Because the French cars are the worst, right? Like basically, they're like, we've got these things which have to be replaced like fairly regularly because we don't know how to do electronics properly, so they always fuse and break and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them, and then we're going to put a solid object which is clamped into your car directly next to it. So you can only get to it if you're a spider, right? So I go to Halfords because they employ teenagers
As
with
a
little gangly
qualified
hands.
engineer on an aircraft jet, that sounds pretty common for most engineering, unfortunately. Design people don't think about maintenance people quite often. Here's John McCardle sent us this. This is great as a Christmas jumper.
Great.
I hope you guys can see it. It's phenomenal. It's got Brom and me and Eddie and Paddy and
Oh,
Joe.
that's Eddie, right.
Yeah.
Eddie's the one with the hands across his
It's quite
face.
hard to tell who that is.
Yeah, because he didn't know how much we wanted him on the front of the jumper.
That's fair.
This is fantastic. But ironically, with his hands across his face, the only person who could probably wear this is probably Eddie.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I held it up, I was like, oh, that might fit. I put it on, it does not fit. It does not fit at all. It's like a fucking boob
I'd like
tube
to
on
see
me.
Joe wear it.
I'd like to see him even attempt to just get
Yeah.
it on, Tom, to be fair. Greatest Christmas jumper ever, that, by the way.
It will probably get
Amazing.
torn. Thank you, Christopher Sanford, Police Station Gloucester says, most professional channel on YouTube. Fact.
That was your mic issues, Joe, when that came through.
It wasn't issues, didn't even have it on.
It wasn't an issue, it just wasn't fitted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dread Naughty, Grot-mas, and you. Bought my 40k mojo back. Kit bashing 40 Dark Mechs Guitari for my new AdMech army, as well as Damned from the new Chaos Knights. These would also fit well into today's new Fabius Bile detachment.
Sounds cool.
I think, because I saw the artwork someone put up of the Chaos Knights, and there was a bunch of people walking in front of the Chaos Knights with big ass shields.
Yeah,
and
that'd be
I was
cool.
like, I want those.
Yeah.
But
The thing is, go on.
Oh, sorry, I was to say, like, as I told you guys earlier, someone pointed out in the new Chaos Knights detachment, it doesn't say that you have to suck up your own cultists to get your dark pack going off. So if you're against someone with damned units, you can just walk your knight up to them and just do like all the mortals on them to get your abilities off.
I'm very glad to hear you've got your what's it called? Mojo back. I'm really glad you got your mojo back. Joe and I have both. I don't know if you've suffered this year, Tom.
A little bit.
Joe and I
end of Leviathan.
Yeah, Joe and I have both gone through a phase this year of mine wasn't too bad, yours was pretty bad, of not having any love for 40k, and Mojo's going in the toilet. Now, I had to really force mine back because of the channel. Joe's thankfully was less forced but has come back. What I do want to say to Games Workshop in general is this Grot-mas has been, I think, revitalising and slightly life-saving for Warhammer 40k.
Yeah.
Because when the roadmap came out and said you're basically getting nothing till January.
Oh, that was such a kick in the teeth.
And then when they came up with it, when they did the reveal show, which was quite literally the best reveal show I think they've ever done, and then they started dropping Grot-mas, and they've done predominantly such a good job for it. Don't get me wrong. I think the Space Marines detachment should have been the Grey Knight detachment. I think the Thousand Suns one's a bit pants. I think the Assassins one's just flat shouldn't have been released because it's insulting.
Pointless.
That aside, literally just those points aside, I think they've done a really good job with
Yeah.
Grot-mas so
Do you
far.
remember
I think it's
when-
the best thing they've done in 10th edition,
Yeah.
genuinely.
Do you remember when they did the roadmap and said you're not getting anything until January?
Yeah.
I did say in a Liam and Joe show, I feel like now is the time they need to drop a detachment for every army in the game.
You
to-
did?
to-
Oh, he called it.
And they listened.
Joe's
Straight-
convinced they watch our streams.
I'm convinced,
He's
yeah.
absolutely convinced
I'm
they
starting
watch
to
our
think
streams.
Joe just runs their whole fucking rule team.
Secretly, Joe's the CEO
Yeah.
of Warhammer.
After this detachment, yeah.
Yeah. What you don't realise is he goes outside, gets in his Rolls Royce, and gets
Yeah,
driven
not
off.
the-
Yeah.
not
No, I drive
Peugeot.
to where I park the Rolls Royce. Yeah.
He comes in with his little Peugeot, but
Yeah.
secretly there's a Rolls.
Games actually have really saved themselves this month. I think they have. I think they've done on the whole. Considering
Honestly, yeah.
how concerned I was when they did the preview show, I've said this about 20 times. I was so concerned at them dropping 30 detachments at the state of these detachments were going to be in, and there's a bit too much copy and paste for my liking.
Yeah.
But I think, with the exception of what I've literally just said, this has been an incredibly good job, well done on the whole.
Yeah,
And
100%.
I've seen so many people that have got a detachment that have gone, oh, I want to build my whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally.
Oh, I suddenly got this out the cupboard.
I literally got all my Custodian's Forge World out of the fucking cupboard the other day because they dropped that new detachment.
Yeah. I honestly, I think this has been like the amount of people I've seen that have done things like that.
Exactly, yeah.
This means it's been a good job, and there's a hype. It's interesting. I find it fascinating, and I hope they learn from this. There's a hype around 40k right now. They're not actually selling anything new to us.
No.
No?
Just detachments. Whether you go and buy new things because of those detachments is a plus point for them.
Yeah, you might buy 60 Tyranid Warriors.
But there's so much buzz around Grot-mas. Even if you look at the Thanes, if you look into the Thanes and see how excited every day now when the new detachment's live, and they talk about it for like an hour.
Yeah.
Right? There's such a buzz created around just giving us free rules. Who knew?
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, for Index especially, you've literally doubled the amount of stuff you get to play with.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Who knew that just giving us free rules,
Yeah.
rather than forcing us to buy things, creates a buzz, creates positivity, brings people back into the hobby. And a lot of people, how many Fabulous Biles might they sell now?
Oh my god, they'll
You know
be
what I
gone.
mean?
They're probably sold out already.
How many
they've
Custodians Dreadnoughts might they have sold?
Those are all sold out. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it makes sense. This is good stuff.
It's fucking great. I love it.
Well, after seeing this detachment, because obviously I reckon there might be a copy paste. I think we might get a witch cult detachment for Drukhari.
You reckon?
Calling it now, witch cult detachment.
Yeah.
Just
You can't then claim they listen to you though, because it will already written.
It's already written, but I'm
It's
saying,
done, yeah.
you know, I said it in whenever I said
Suddenly there's been a delay if the Drukhari detachment.
Evan says as well, right? And this is spot on. Grot-mas is brilliant idea, and it literally cost them nothing. Well,
Yeah.
apart from people's time to write the rules, yes.
it. Yeah.
That can't be that much time though.
Escapade says, for someone who has been incredibly salty and hating 40k since 10th edition, Grot-mas has inspired me to look into making lists again. Perfect.
That's my favourite thing about it, is you can actually think differently about the list you're writing.
Fabius is sold out online. Surprise!
What's mental
Shocker.
is I got my Fabulous Bile at just after Warhammer Fest,
Yeah.
and I only painted him a couple months ago.
Didn't he come in the box?
He came in the Big Emperor box.
The Big Emperor box that I got, yeah. That John
Yeah.
kindly donated to us.
Yeah, but now I need to go home and look through my spare bits to make a few more models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. And this is what I'm seeing everywhere. And I'm like, I really, really, my one concern is that they don't. I really hope GW are watching this and learning and going, we're just chucking out free rules. Most people are positive. Most people are pretty happy about it. People are starting to hobby again.
Yeah.
We're selling models, which is essentially their main business, is selling models.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't have to force them to buy rules to sell models. We're just selling models.
It makes me think like hopefully they do the same thing as Grot-mas, but for Age of Sigmar with like with armies of renown.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have done armies of renown
Do you
instead
think-
of regiments of
Now,
renown.
I'm aware that they make too much money from things like codexes for this to ever actually stop.
Yeah.
But do you think this is evidence, in fact, that you could genuinely put out free rules
Oh yeah.
and still
Yeah.
make a ton of money?
I mean, they said that the end, once these are all out, they're all going onto the app.
Yeah.
Right. So until then, they're not. But I think so. We pay for the app. Well, most people pay for that app already. So you're still paying for the rules.
You are, yeah.
Yeah. So you like the rules
But
are
if
free,
you-
but you're paying for the convenience of
But
having
if
it
you
on the
weren't
app.
having to buy a codex to get a code to put into the app that you didn't got to pay for, it eradicates all of the feels bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
They would sell so much more stuff if the rules were free and you had access to them on the. I don't mind.
I
paying
think even if it was just off the subscription,
Yeah.
not necessarily completely free, but if it was like a tenner a month for all the rules,
Yeah.
all the detachments, all the
Because
codexes,
one of the
I think that would be way better.
Yeah, because one of the problems Games Workshop's got is by locking the rules on the app, people can't go look at rules and then make a snap purchase. Because then,
Yeah.
because some people are like, oh, I'm really interested.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in Gene Circle. Oh, I got to buy the bloody book first.
Oh yeah, it's
Right.
like yesterday when they released the rules for that new Orc kill team, and I
Yeah.
was like, I need all of these now.
Yeah, the release the rules free. Buy the kit.
JDI says, I've just seen it and it's popped up, but is it more money than if they sell the rules? Even a bit more money is more money. That's a hard one to understand, isn't it? And I can understand their trepidation from moving to free rules, because there's a risk that your revenue takes a dip if they're not selling books, because they do make a lot of money from selling books. And obviously, any kind of revenue, especially for a company that's now approaching the FTSE 100, any kind of revenue dip, no matter what it is, even if it's explainable, is not good for shareholders, ultimately. I have no evidence to base this on apart from general vibe and feeling in the community, and also my own personal experience. If you give everybody all the rules for free, okay, you're not selling codexes at £30 to £35 a time, granted. But how many people would spend time looking at rules in something like the app who might then be tempted to buy a kit or two kits?
Yeah.
Because the second, if you can't see the rules, you're like, oh, I can't see the rules. I don't want to buy the codex. It's 35
I think
quid.
a lot more people would be tempted to start another army if they could just
You'd
see
have
what
so
the
many
rules-
unfinished projects.
Yeah, it'd be like you.
I take he doesn't know what we're talking about. Take Dan, for example.
Okay.
Dan, big Age of Sigmar fan. Right, and he's got really into Age of Sigmar in the last year, just over a year. Like, he's got really into big fan of 3rd edition. Right, he's been playing 40k now since second, like full. There's been no breaks in his 40k playing. Now couldn't care less about 40k. Right, so the armies that he's got are like Chaos Knight, normal knights, and Blood Angels and Dark Angels. Right, but like he's like, when the big box set comes out with the Blood Angels, he's like, I'm not going to buy it because I'm not enjoying 10th edition. I'm not enjoying the game.
Fair.
So why am I going to buy the code? I'm not going to buy the codex for 40 quid when it comes out because I'm just not enjoying the game. And there's a lot of people like him. A lot of people that are a bit disenfranchised with the hobby and 40k in general. So if they release those rules for free, people like him could go, oh, let's have a look at the rules anyway, because I'm still in the hobby. I've got all the models. Look at it, and then they might, oh, actually they're not terrible, you know.
Yeah.
I might play Joe on the weekend and see how I feel. I'll give it a go, kind of thing. And then if people like that then might be incentivized to buy a physical copy, or be like, oh, I enjoyed that, but I'd like more Sanguinary Guard. I'll buy some of the new Sanguinary Guard.
I agree.
Kind of thing. I think,
But I also think that for codexes specifically, I've seen this. See people talk about it in chat. For codex specifically, if they lent into combat patrol rules that stay in the codex,
Crusade.
more detailed painting guides, crusade rules potentially, tons of lore, they won't sell as many books, but they'll probably
I
still
think-
sell 60-70% of them.
You'll still sell loads if you just do all the cool lore, all the cool art, painting stuff, crusade rules, combat patrol, whatever you want. That'll still sell a hell of a lot.
Yeah, maybe 70%. And if you
Yeah.
if you could increase your model sales by more than that 30% deficit created by not selling books, well then it's net positive.
and
100%.
There's people out there that are perfectly happy using that. I've said it loads of time. I prefer reading the physical copy.
Yeah.
So like there'll be times
can't
I'll be
read.
like, I don't know. So there'll be times like, oh, I need to think about what I want to put in my Chaos Army, and I'll be like, and what I'll do is I just reach over, pick up the book. I won't use my phone.
No,
because it means I can.
So I'm with you. When I get a brand new rule set to start with, so this I will give you this one. When I get a brand new rule set to start with, I prefer flicking back and forth through a book to look at interactions. The problem I have is the speed in which and the amount in which they're updating and changing rules. That book, once I've gone through that initial flick through, quickly becomes pointless because there's so many changes going into those units. And so after that point, the app becomes the only really truly reliable source of rules from GW.
But that's the problem that's causing a lot of hate towards Games Workshop at the moment, right? They release a book which you have to buy to get the rules on the app, right? And people are like, but you're going to change the rules in less than 3 months.
Yeah.
So I'm literally buying something that I might as well just throw away afterwards.
Exactly. So by removing the rules, and it would make me sad that I can't flick through a new book, don't get me wrong, but removing physical rules as a sellable product you remove all of that problem.
Yeah.
You remove all of that ill feeling. Because
didn't-
if it's literally a living rule set and it's on an app and you're just paying an app subscription, you're not paying for a book, and then when you go to a tournament 6 months later and you take your codex, because most tournaments still say you must bring your codex. I'm like, why? Why do tournaments ask me to bring
I
my
have
codex
not
now?
brought my codex.
I
to a
don't. I
game
just
in
use
10th
Battle
edition.
Bunker.
Yeah.
Because I know it's up to date. And now, it's as of yesterday's balanced data slate, they've even changed it. So the balanced data slate changes that came out yesterday are already in the app.
Yeah.
It's that up to date. Yes, I know the Grot-mas attachments aren't in there yet, chat. They are putting them in one go in January. But in terms of actual rules updates, it's so quick in the app nowadays that I'm like, why would I ever take a codex anywhere apart from leave
It's
it on my
probably going to be
bookshelf?
wrong as well if you do take your codex.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Although
I think they could still keep the initial rules in the codex just
Yeah.
for people that don't really care about tournament stuff.
Yeah,
But like then
and-
just keep them updated on the app.
Yeah, and like, how much is the app? What, $6.99 a month?
It's $5 in it for
$5.99.
Warhammer Plus or whatever it's called.
So the thing is with that is that does open them up to the criticism that the book's already out of date, which they're never going to get rid of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
as
all
long
the
as
rules are
it's
free online anyway.
Yeah. I still think there's other companies out there that are doing that. Granted, they're not FTSE 100 companies, they're nowhere near the size of Games Workshop, but there's other companies out there that are like, and let's look at the way the video gaming world is going.
Yeah.
How many free-to-play games are coming out in the video game world and making massive successes of it?
So many.
So it's interesting the way it's going. GW, I think, perhaps need to really consider their approach in the future if they're going to continue to grow. But then who am I to tell them that they're doing it wrong? They've just hit FTSE 100.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I'm the
but
one sat.
the-
I'm sat in a tiny little studio,
Yeah.
begging for gifted memberships and super
The
chats.
problem is, like, the FTSE 100 thing is good for them. So it's good for their shareholders. Like, admittedly, it's good for us because, like, the company's getting bigger. But also at the same time, people are like, you've hit the FTSE 100, you've had the best financial year you've ever had, but you've had 2 price increases in the last year.
yeah.
And people
True.
are like,
Yep.
but you can't give us free rules.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you.
Yeah.
But like I say, who am I to criticise when I'm sat here literally begging for gifteds where we're on 27 right now? And they're
I don't think they
dishing out
even
money
I
need-
would
to
prefer
shelves.
it if people got free rules from Games Workshop and then just gave us that 30 quid.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Every month, you know?
I would also prefer that, Joe. Yeah,
But they don't even need to be fully free rules. They
Yeah.
can just have the subscription
Well,
service,
so
make it cost a little bit more.
Even
or-
I've said what Gary P said multiple times.
Just buy a
Sell us
code.
the code.
Yeah,
Sell
okay.
us the code for a
How
tenner.
much would you pay for a code, do you reckon?
I'd pay a tenner for a code.
Yeah.
This is a hell of a rabbit hole to tumble down. Just to say, I'm really glad he's got his Dreadnought. He's got his mojo back.
Oh, yeah. It's a great time for 40k.
But my core point is, I think they've almost proven to themselves that they can release free rules updates or free rules in general and still increase profit by making sales.
Yeah.
And actually, not only that, but you can't really, all right, again, Assassins aside, maybe Thousands aside, you can't really criticise Grot-mas. It's all free.
Yeah.
Free stuff.
And the thing is, though, this is like, so like one of the problems is like we're at a time of year where family members are like, oh, what do you want for Christmas? And Warhammer's really expensive now. For like people that play Warhammer's, oh yeah, but 40 quid's not that much. But like for your aunt, who you probably speak to once a year, and you go, can I have a £40 box set, please? And they're probably like,
I'm actually going to Warhammer World tomorrow
Yeah.
to play a friend of mine who I haven't seen all year.
Yeah.
And I always say at Christmas, I don't want presents, I don't want gifts, all I
Yeah.
want is your time. And this individual offered me his time tomorrow. I was like, yes, sounds great.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get up early, drive to Warhammer World. We've got a book table, we're going to play some Age of Sigmar.
I wasn't invited, it's fine.
And no, you weren't, no. And my brother's wife
Yeah.
came to me and she was like, he's talked about these tanks that he saw at Warhammer Worlds
Yeah.
when you took him up months ago, because he'd never been before.
Yeah.
I took him up earlier in the year, which are the command tanks, which are Warhammer World exclusive.
Yeah.
Do you know how much they are?
120 quid, I think.
£125 for the box. 2 tanks. It's a Land Raider and a Rhino with all fancy shit,
Yeah.
right? And they are very nice. And I was like, okay, yes.
much money.
I know the box. I know the box you're on about. She's like, can you get it for me for him for Christmas?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can pick it up because I'm going to go up on the Friday. She's like, oh, amazing. How much is it? And I told her, and she nearly fainted.
Yeah.
Like, how much? I was
Yeah.
like, 125 quid.
Yeah, so it's like, so these rules that they're releasing now, I kind of wish they'd done it last month, right? Because by releasing the rules in November, it goes like, wow, I really like that detachment. I could get someone to buy me
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, but
It
the
would
whole
slightly
Grot-mas-
ruin the advert
The
cover.
whole
the whole
Grot-mas
Grot-mas
cover
thing,
is
yeah.
really cool.
It's really, really cool, but like, this is basically a month of hobbyists spending money on themselves at the same time, kind of thing.
Yeah,
When they could-
I just,
well,
I do the advent calendar Grot-mas store. I do think it's been marketed really well.
I think
Yeah.
they've done a very good job.
What
of
I've
it.
done is anyone that's asked me for anything during Christmas, I've gone Games Workshop vouchers.
That's
Games
fair.
Workshop vouchers.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
And then just spend away, and then I'll just pull them all together.
Yeah. But I always, the thing is with, like, we don't typically do Christmas, we do for our kids, but we don't typically do Christmas presents for other adults anyway, because I don't know, I'm weird about Christmas. And as I've said, I rather people gave me their time.
But it's all about you, isn't it?
No, not at all. I'd rather we go to the pub for a meal or a pint and I sit and chat to you for an hour than you give me a present wrapped in paper that's going to go on my shelf and get. But it's by the by. The one thing I will say for vouchers, I think you're right, and it does mean that people don't have to commit to paying for a 40, 50, 60 quid model set. But I've given vouchers in the past and I always kind of hate it because it doesn't feel personal.
Yeah.
It's a voucher, do what you want with it. Whenever I do buy gifts, I really want to put thought and time and effort into it and to be like, I know this is something that Joe's going to really want or like.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I get what you're saying. You are right. You know, just vouchers is probably the easy way because you could put 10 quid on a voucher and be like, there you go. It doesn't have to be a £125 thanks set.
Yeah, and I these are like, I'm always like, people are like, oh, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, I don't know.
Like the this local man complains about free stuff coming too late.
Joe complained.
Joe the war game.
I was complaining the other day that I don't like the fact that I don't know what days they're coming out on. So,
Yeah.
you can't win.
Do you
What,
know which
the
is in
fun
your...
part?
Now, I'm assuming, even as a grown adult, you have an advent calendar.
Yeah,
Do you know what's in your advent calendar every day?
chocolate,
Do you know what's in there?
Reese's Pieces,
Oh,
either brown or white.
you've ruined it for me.
So
Either perhaps you don't know what's in it.
yeah, but I like both. So I don't give a shit. I'm happy, and I know the 24th is a big one because it's a big door, you know. But it's more of a
Strong Fish says, I see my wife every day. I don't need her to give me her time.
But that's the thing, I don't need you to give me your time, Liam. I speak to you all the time, you know.
Oh.
I just want cold hard cash.
You got that in the
That's
Christmas
very
bonus.
true.
Yeah, but
And it was large.
I want more.
Fucking hell!
God
more.
damn.
You know, I want to live in a world of excess. You know,
Yeah?
I've had a taste of the big life. You know,
Have you?
Yeah.
Because of that one Christmas bonus.
yeah. So, yeah, yeah. But it's good detachment.
I asked my sister for a ballista and got a brutalis. So sometimes vouchers are easy in this very niche hobby.
Yeah,
Brutalis is more cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although ballistas is hard to get because you can pretty much only get them on eBay.
I think they sell them now, like
Do they? As an actual
individually.
box.
Yeah, but
know.
I think it's still the monopose
Yeah.
only version.
And then thank you, the Linux experiment for 5 gifted memberships. I hope that you get exactly what you asked for Christmas.
We're 23 members away from halfway chat with 206 people watching. If just over 10% of you gift, we'll get to halfway.
Thank you, Benjamin Duster says, are they adding these to the app eventually? No use for me if they don't because I'm lazy list builder.
Is it-
Let's see tomorrow's though.
Is it January they're doing? Chuck 'em
Yeah,
all
I
in
think
or
they
something?
said that they're
I think
coming-
they said on the show, didn't they?
Yeah.
We'll chuck them all in January.
The best thing you can do really is like what I did is I looked at it, I was like, well, this enhancement's 35 points. So I
Yeah.
just need to make sure I got 35 points spare at the end.
That's what I've been doing with the Custodes
Yeah.
one. Is just save 50 points at the end.
Yeah, and just do it that way. And then, yeah, so it's coming soon. You don't have to wait too long.
Joe got a Christmas bonus, immediately forgot to put on mic.
Don't even try anymore.
He's got his money now.
Yeah, I got a
He's,
month off essentially
done
now.
for the year.
Thank you, Nurgle Matthew. Hey, sup, fabulous Bile. Give your buddy Nurg a stim o that juice.
Yeah, you need to read it in Nurgle Matthews' voice. It's much nicer then. It's a sexy voice.
Is it?
Yeah. Nurgle Matthew is a fan of all things chaos, as you can probably imagine from the name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Nurgle Matt, how's it going, dude? Love you. Hope you're having a good December.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the demon detachments as well. Obviously, that'll be exciting.
Do you think this detachment is one you're going to really try and play into a bit though? Because it does look like it's got a lot of the tools that you, that you would like.
So like, obviously, I've been thinking, I'm and I about what I'm going to take to Beachhead. I'm tempted to take Chaos Space Marines to Beachhead
Because of this detachment.
because this is happening.
Okay, interesting.
But also, like, I've done all right with the Chaos Demons. I can shelf them now.
You've come third in an RTT Well, you cheated in round 3.
Yeah.
I didn't cheat.
That's what Tom said.
I didn't cheat. It's just he's gullible.
You bastard.
You know. I said I'm moving these models here, and in fact, and then I even rolled in advance, and he was like, "Yep." And then I'm going to put my ground clean one here, and he's like, "Yep." And then he was like, I should charge them.
It's
And I
fine,
was
Joe.
like,
Like,
"Yep."
if I was, not playing a friendly game with you, I'd have just taken fixed in one.
There you go.
But I put
Well, you had
tactical,
the
it's
option
more fun.
to go fixed.
Yep.
I don't feel like this. I've done well with the demons is a fair statement right now.
I think it's though,
It
like, I've
depends
done
what you
alright.
want to do with him, though, doesn't it?
If I took the demons to like Beachhead and I played all 5 games, I might go 3 and 2, 4 and 1.
Yeah, I think it's fair. Yeah.
But like I've not taken Chaos Space Marines to a tournament since 9th edition.
You know what?
No, you've been running Blood Angels
I
predominantly.
took Chaos Space Marines to a tournament in 9th edition with the 8th edition Codex.
Well, I think this detachment would be a good shout for Beachhead, especially like the terrain's pretty solid for like melee-based infantry. So
I think this is solid.
yeah,
I think it's a solid detachment.
yeah, no complaints really, except for that one
I'll
2CP detachment.
I'll probably take Abaddon because he's my fun unit.
And then tell us all that the detachment is bad and Chaos Space Marines
Oh
is
no, the
bad.
detachment is actually really good. Whether you take Abaddon or not, it's better without Abaddon.
Probably.
It's
Although
be-
Abaddon is pretty good. Like
Yeah.
he's very good as like this huge scary threat thing.
Yeah.
I don't think CSM really have a huge
gets
scary
you-
threat
like,
other than him.
He can't do stratagems for free, but when he dark packs, he gets you a CP.
Yeah.
That's
So, like,
Isn't it if you were on 8 or higher though?
yeah. So 7 or 8, and he gets.
So it's
he
like a
gets you
50-50 chance.
He's the only way of generating command points in that army as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
But do you need to generate the command points if the lords are reducing
Yeah.
two
So,
CP
yeah. So,
strats?
so like the lords are more efficient for it.
Yeah.
And you can discard all the secondaries that you never do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just depends on. But like, if I'm going to play 5 games at a super try hard tournament, I want to have Abaddon going around murdering stuff.
Yeah. 508, there's no schedule. They just tell you each day what's next, and tomorrow's Aldari.
I can't. If
Potentially-
Eldar get 2
Potentially
detachments,
2 detachments just for Aldari.
right before they get a 7 detachment codex, that
Yeah.
is taking the piss. I know you love it, but
You'll hear
that's-
me celebrating in Warhammer World
I
from
know.
here.
I'm just like, what was that? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mad for it.
I wonder if it'll be based on their fate dice now or battle focus. Because they've already said the fate dice are going and they're getting battle focus, which I think they said was move, shoot, move.
It's going to be interesting because the detachment is going to have to work with the new codex, and the new codex's army rule is changing. So it's going to be interesting to see, because it might be that it comes out and we look at it and we go, that's a bit pap, and then we think when we get the new army rule, we go, oh, actually it's good, or it might be it comes out and we go, that's fucking busted, and then when the army rule changes, we go, oh, actually it's okay. But we don't know what the army rule is going to be. Now, old battle focus was in fact move, shoot, move, and that second, or move, move, shoot, and that second move on both occasions was normally a D6.
Yeah.
Right? Which isn't too bad because a D6 isn't a reliable 6, so it's not guaranteed pop out, pop back every time. It's a pop out, oh, I can only pop back an inch. So it's not too bad. It is still very, very good, an addition that does really favour movement. It's still quite good.
Yeah, movement wins games, doesn't it?
I am personally a person who is significantly happier that we're going to be moving into movement shenanigans as my core army mechanic rather than fate dice. I don't hate fate dice, but I think that for interactivity with my opponent, fate dice creates lots of feel bad moments.
Yeah.
Avatar Overwatch,
Yeah.
right?
Oh god, that's
Avatar
awful.
Overwatch.
Yeah.
Roll a dice, I've missed. I won't roll again, I'll just put a 1 in, I'll change it to a 6 because I've got Farseer nearby. I've also hit you and I've got sustained D3. Like, it's just shit.
It's
just
horrendous.
bullshit.
I just hope that their new.
And I'll probably do it tonight.
I just hope that their,
Yeah.
I hope that their new detachments are incredibly meh.
Do you think they'll get a Drukhari one and an Eldar on tomorrow?
No.
What did they say? What was the actual word on the thingy?
The actual wording is...
There's 2 tomorrow, and
Grot-mas, of course, shows us that there's no such thing as too much of a good thing.
Oh, it's Eldari,
Which is
yeah,
why
okay.
we have 2 detachments tomorrow. We've looked into the future to see that the Aldari are next. Farseers might be famously hard to get presents for. but they've planned for this.
Maybe it's a Farseer detachment.
A Seer Council detachment would make me hard.
Yeah. But they've already said that there's a Seer Council detachment. In the
They
new one.
have. which
They've
is
said
why I
there's-
don't think
they
we're
also
gonna
said
get
Ynnari and Harlequins. There's not going to be either of them, is it?
one. No, it's interesting.
So like those were, if they were doing 2, that's what I would expect to have, like a Harlequins one or a Ynnari one.
Yeah.
But obviously that's going to be in the book anyway.
If I get a February-March Eldar Codex with 7 detachments in and I get to keep these
I mean,
two
it'll
at
be
the same
9
time,
by
I get
then.
9 detachments to play with for a year. Oh my God.
basically Space Marines at
I
that
just
point.
I just don't want them to be good, these 2 detachments.
Agreed.
Right? Because
Define good.
Playable.
playable, but not like broken mental.
Agreed then.
Okay? Because the problem is you don't want them to be so good that when the Codex comes out, you're still using the Christmas
Agree.
detachments.
Strong agree.
Yeah.
But I think that any book, realistically, you're going to want 2 or 3 minimum detachments to be vying for first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then when you go to a tournament of any size, realistically, and you have 5 Space Marine players, what you don't want is you don't want to be in a world where all 5 Space Marine players are playing Gladius.
Yeah.
Realistically, maybe 2 playing Gladius, 1 playing Liberator Assault Force, 1 playing First Company Task Force. Not that they would because it's shit, but you get what I'm saying, right? So if they do that, if they can, if the Eldar Codex comes out and these are competing with 2 detachments in the Codex, so you've got 4 that are all viable, that's fine. But nothing should ever be broken.
No.
No.
Like nothing in any codex should ever be broken. I'm concerned for the Necron detachment. Even with the points changes from yesterday, I'm concerned.
I
about
think
Necron
if
detachment.
anything, the points changes benefited them because like their wraiths went cheaper again,
They did, yeah.
which is always a worry.
They're so annoying, right?
And like, I think we've just realised now that Catan are going to get their obligatory up 10 points every time they do a points change.
Yeah.
And their new detachment, I think, is potentially the best in the game now, except maybe Ultramarines Gladius.
I do think that when you consider the amount of hate that Eldar get anyway from the community who aren't Eldar players,
Like me.
it's ballsy giving them 2 detachments.
Yeah, that's a bit of a
With a
kick,
codex
innit?
around the corner,
Oh
we've
my-
already
yeah,
announced
like,
at least 7.
they've just basically said have 9 detachments.
Yeah.
If that's
So
if that's what's happening tomorrow.
just on an announcement, just shown Eldar players they're getting all these fucking gorgeous model updates.
yeah, they've
right?
arguably had the best model update of 10th edition now.
Then talk about their 7th edition, their 10th edition codex and their 7 detachments, and then go, oh, also have
Here's
2 more.
Yeah.
they've said that
It is £1,000 for playing Eldar.
it won't be
Take
Harlequin.
that.
It won't be Harlequins either, will it? Because Harlequins.
They said that Harlequins and Ynnari were
They
going to
said,
be
yeah,
in the
they said
book.
both Harlequins and Ynnari exist within the new Eldar Codex, like Tom just said.
Yeah.
So I can't see it being Harlequins or Ynnari.
And
So
There's
yeah.
a Corsair detachment. They said.
Well, I guess
Did
did
they? I don't think they did.
Harlequins?
So it might be Corsairs. maybe.
Harlequins have light and dark, don't they?
As a
So
person who's
maybe
and Twilight, as
Okay,
a person
yeah.
who's just taken delivery of 3 boxes of Corsairs, I'd be into a Corsairs detachment.
Yeah.
Pirate Eldar, come on, that won't be very good, but it'd be
Arr.
fun.
Yeah.
But you know, I think I'd imagine the Codex they would have already pre-written a Wraith detachment.
Yeah.
I'd imagine they've already pre-written a Aspect detachment for Bile.
Well, I imagine what's happened is when they wrote the Codex, they had too many detachments. Like, so they're like, we can't put all of these in the army. So they're like, well, cool, just bang, 2 in.
I am interested in what Ginger Ninja said as well as to whether they're going to look at changing the army rule tomorrow.
I'd be surprised.
Because what they might do, the reason why we might be getting 2 is they might tomorrow say we're changing the army rule now, so we're replacing your current one because it's now different and giving you a new one.
Yeah.
It's possible, but I think it's unlikely.
See, I would have thought they would have done it in the balance data slate.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But if they knew this was coming 2 days up, I mean, the balance data set is an odd one, right? I talked about this yesterday. This is where left hand, right hand doesn't talk to each other because they dropped the balance data slate at 10 o'clock in the morning where they updated Armour of Contempt. They then dropped a Space Marine detachment at midday with old Armour of Contempt. It's a fucking PDF. Just change the wording.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
But I suppose all armor contempts are exactly the same currently. So they might turn around in 3 to 6 months' time and go, oh, the change to armor contempt was too much. We'll revert it back to the old one.
But then you just change the wording on the PDF again and update it.
Yeah.
It's odd. I don't know. I don't understand that decision, but hey. Right, more.
Thank you,
about to
Erebus.
piss myself.
Helm on the Warpsmith with Havocs in the backfield. So the 12-inch deep strike deny. So you have,
Oh, the helm, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, this is the thing, right? That enhancement is, yeah, you can walk across the front of people. They get to see your bum.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, The enhancement is 100% usable. It's not a bad enhancement.
I would say Erebus, if you're going to put it on Havocs in the backfield, you put it on a Sorcerer, because the Sorcerer's inbuilt -1 to hit. So your Havocs are then -1 to hit with a 12-inch deep strike bubble.
Yeah.
It's a bit more inbuilt defense then.
Yeah. My mouse is dying, the battery's dying. It's one's flashing red.
Sort of flashy flash.
Yeah, so, you know, that enhancement in this new detachment is not bad. 12-inch deep strike denial is not a bad enhancement. It's a good enhancement that has use and play.
Yeah.
I just think the other three are all better.
I do think it's an enhancement that the army needs, right? Because Chaos has no deep strike deny, and it has no units with inbuilt infiltrate. Right, so they need a bit of help with that without going down the demon route. So like, well, every time I write my list now, I'm like 80 points, 2 units, and 3 Nurgling.
For the infiltrate.
For the infiltrate,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it move blocks things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like whether it gets to the point where I have to convert something to make it look a bit more, less Nurgling-ish.
Chat, we're on 33 members, 17 for halfway, because we need to finish soon, actually. Come on.
Yeah. Thank you, Evan Tomalo, for 1 gifted membership. Thank you, Erebus, for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Erebus.
Yeah. I hope, Erebus, that we get a new Erebus model for Horus Heresy.
Does it need a new Erebus model? I don't know. I don't remember what he looks like as a model. Is it Erebus and Corferin in the
Yeah,
single?
they need new models.
Okay, yeah.
Because they're like teeny weeny.
Yeah.
Because they were like released right at the start of Horus Heresy, because you had Loken and Abaddon, and you had Erebus and Corferin, who came as these dual box sets.
Yeah.
So obviously they're scaled to like the really small people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Into it.
I'd love a new Loken model. I think
His is a bit derpy as well.
What about a 40k Erebus model?
Yeah, 4K Erebus would be sexy. Yeah.
You'd love to kill him.
Well, I was
Chaos
talking...
Sorcerer can't go with Havocs.
Are you sure?
You sure, Erebus?
I guess
You're a
you
very
would know.
naughty boy, Erebus. He's not the Messiah.
He's a very naughty boy.
Jay
has to stop and look immediately.
You can't go in them. Oh yeah, let's go Warpsmith then. You get going there.
I think you might have to just accept that Havocs are not the thing at the moment.
Surstrumming Fishers, you've already given Erebus that wish before.
Oh.
Are we now in a point where we're recycling J wishes?
Has he come full circle?
Yeah.
I hope Erebus, they kill off Erebus. But he does something cool, you know?
Okay, I was about to say, how's that an Erebus wish? But yeah.
You know, like he does something that, like he kills, I don't know, he kills another named character in a cool narrative book, you know? And then...
Not another one.
But like something that's like... So like, this is a problem I've got at the moment in general with
Herpes.
Games Workshop. No, is that they keep doing all these narrative things, but since 8th edition, none of the narrative things they've done have influenced Warhammer as a whole, as in 40k as a whole. Like, destroying Cadia was huge, right? In one swap of an edition, from 7th to 8th, Cadia was destroyed, the entire universe was torn apart, you know, we had the birth of an Eldar god.
I think they prefer to say torn asunder.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Torn a bumder. Okay, and then you've got like then loads of Necrons appeared, an entire sphere of Tau disappeared. There was like a massive Orc Warg. You had Tyranids invasion, and they were building a massive Tyranid like planet. You had all these things happened, right? And now they're like, oh, we're all fighting over a big cannon.
Yeah, I also think they did a lot of, here's some cool narrative, and we've not really kind of concluded it. And here's some more cool narrative, and we've not really kind of concluded it. And here's some more cool narrative, and they just kind of go, and here's a bit that excuses us releasing a model.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole arcs of Omen, wasn't it? It was just
Yeah.
like, here's Angron, here's the Lion, here's Vashtor.
Yeah.
They're doing loads of cool shit for like 5 books, and then it just sort of ends.
Like go after a Space Marine home planet, but like an important one.
Yeah.
They should have killed all the Blood Angels,
Yeah.
removed them from the game.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we've destroyed.
I like Blood Angels.
Like
No, I'm
they
joking.
destroyed the home planet of the.
They could have just killed Bile, to be fair, like in
Yeah.
that Tyranid invasion.
Yeah, Like they destroyed the home planet of like the Emperor's Scythes. You know,
Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in like films and stuff and TV series where this random character just kind of shows up as a new character. You're like, oh, he's going to die soon.
Yeah.
And then that's the character that dies. You're like, oh, cool. So all the main ones are fine.
What's it in Star Trek? Is it if you're a red shirt in a scene, you're 2 seconds away from being shot?
It's mad, isn't it? I'm like, oh, here's this new character, which we don't really know much about. Oh, he's died.
That's when someone's talking about 2 weeks away from retirement. Look at my family that I love, and he's dead.
Like, why not just go? Like we've killed. Like Erebus has come in and he has killed Calgar. You know, or they're going like Lehman Russ is going to come back. He's killed Lehman Russ.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, but it's like you didn't have him before.
He can kill
you still
Abaddon.
haven't got him, but he's dead.
He can kill Abaddon. Fine with that.
Like they destroy McCrag. That'd be great. he's still got 499 other planets to play with, but
True.
McCrag is dead. You know. Yeah, can they just destroy McCrag already?
No, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think having something really like
There
really
should be
serious lore,
consequences.
Yeah.
like progression is important for the majority of us that play The Hobbit.
You know, like
Cadia being destroyed. Think about how many people were talking. Like it's a narrative thing, right? Cadia being destroyed was just a narrative thing. Doesn't sell models necessarily. It's just Chaos finally blew up a fucking planet that belonged to the Imperium, and not only did they blow up a planet, it's in terms of 40k, it's quite an important planet for the Guard. Cadians have been the core of the Ashram Retarum in terms of the hobby, at least for the longest time. Blowing up Cadia was huge, and people were talking about it.
Yeah.
And it was exciting.
It's one of the reasons people used to take the piss out of Abaddon because he basically never did anything.
Well, the 12 other crusades were all very specific things that are happening.
I know, but it's like.
But
I'm also not against. I wouldn't have been against in that particular moment. Abaddon actually, and someone said it in chat, Abaddon actually slaughtering Calgar for a change, and Calgar's dead because you've got Gulliman and you've got Tiggy. Fuck it, you've got enough characters.
Ultramarines are doing all right for name characters.
Yeah.
They just got a new one. So
and imagine if at the point, I've got nothing against Calgar. I have him at home.
He's
but
cool.
Imagine if Abaddon goes in and fucking Dracnaean takes Calgar's fucking head clean off.
Yeah.
People are going to go,
That'd be mental.
what?
yeah,
What the fuck just happened? That's cool.
Like if
Erebus should
as
destroy
well,
Uranus.
As well,
Like-
in the Arcs of Omen, the last one,
Yeah.
Angron has a fight with, I think it's Dante. If he could have just full on killed Dante in that.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Lion comes in and beats Angron.
But it's like if Seth was dead in the Blood Angel, and they said Abaddon killed Seth, you're like,
Fair enough.
cool. You know?
A worthy death.
And
they've just removed him.
But he hurt him, destroyed his armor, gave him a little, took
Give
his
him a
eye
little
out or
shank,
something.
yeah.
You know, give him a good shanking.
Well, it's the same with Yarrick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We don't
Yarrick.
actually have official communications to what's happened to him.
No.
We've had some kind of weird, like, cryptic shit.
Yeah, like
that's
if
put the book.
Yarrick
But, like-
had died fighting like Gaz or Angron, fair enough.
Yeah,
Like
we
that's
need-
a good death.
We need Armageddon, basically.
Yeah.
Have Armageddon, bring back a commemorative Yarrick model, right? Bring a commemorative. Have Angron actually kill him in
Yeah.
a set piece, kind of story narrative,
For sure.
right? Have the Lion and Gilliman meet each other, because they don't meet each other, right? They kill Angron.
Yeah, how is that
But
not happened
Angron
yet?
dying doesn't matter because he just comes back again. But you know, have them have tag team, kill Demon
Well, I
Primarchs
think
and
it would be
stuff.
cool if Gaz came in after Angron killed Yarrick and they
Yeah.
have a little fight because obviously
Yeah.
they're weird relationship.
Kai says whatever happened to Gabriel. This is the problem. We don't know.
No one
He's
knows.
just,
It's just eradicated.
In 10th, characters just disappear.
in the codex, he's still alive and kicking.
Yeah, yeah.
He's done basically. Gilliman turned up at the devastation of Bile with like an entire chapter's worth of flesh terrors. He was like, "There you go do a new crusade." Right? Gave Dante an entire chapter's worth of Blood Angels. Set up something like 30 Blood Angel successor chapters. He turned up with like millions of Space Marines, and then Games Workshop were like, "Oh, Seth's still about, but how about we give you 3 captains instead?"
Yeah. On
Troy's
top
upset.
of the 4 you have
Troy's
already.
upset because we said we were going to kill off Lehman Russ from the Space War.
Well, I would also be quite unhappy about that.
But I do take your point. Like,
Especially if it's fucking
they don't
Erebus.
currently have their Primarch.
No.
So killing him off narratively means that they're in the same place they are now.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a lot of players of armies like Space Wolves who sit there and think, well, I think my Primarch's going to come back because the Lions come back and because Gulliman's come back. And
Just kill off Jagerside Khan. No one cares about him.
Right, so we're in a position now where like Dark Angels are the good guys now.
Somehow.
Right, like the great thing about Dark Angels when I was a teenager is like Dark Angels were like the full edgelords. Are they good? Are they bad? Is Cypher a goodie? Is he a baddie? Sometimes he fights for Chaos. Sometimes he fights for the Imperium. You know, we've got these cool guys.
You should be able to take him in both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got this cool army of like at the time like the Death Company, the Death what? No, what are they called? It's fucking the Terminators. Deathwing, right? Deathwing.
Death.
Were these cool kind of knightly Terminators with a bit of kind of like tribal, like American Indian because of all the feather stuff, but they were still all knights. But they were like, we didn't know their background because they were like super dark. And now they're these like these bright and shiny, like happy-go-lucky chibi Marines, aren't they? With their big chunky armour, right?
I don't think that's true.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that
Knights
far.
look cooler than they ever have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're still like a bit more, but they're all like super bright and colourful.
Are they?
We've got our Primarch back now.
The Lion has been a lot more like friendly, I would say, than what he was in Heresy.
He's like,
he keeps forgiving people.
yeah, he's like Tywin Lannister, but with Tyrion Lannister's personality now.
Uh,
I just don't.
Moving on.
So
Yeah.
what I want, right, is I want
oh no.
I
Give you a
want
while.
a proper grim dark Space Marine faction. So they're like if
Black
they,
Legion.
yeah,
there
but
you go.
what I mean is a loyalist faction where they've got characters, they've got like a model update where they look like, are these good guys? You know, like how look at elves in Age of Sigmar, right? Your good guy elves are ones that worship blood and slaughter and are scary snake ladies and bat ladies. You've got ones that live in the ocean and come out at night and steal children's souls.
I like that one.
Yeah.
It's cool.
You've got a bunch of weird cow elves that worship furries.
You shut your dirty whoremouth.
Yeah.
They're cool.
But they're a bit genocidal,
Exactly.
right?
Are they the boring white ones? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get out as well.
And then you've got murder tree elves. The elves whose souls have gone into trees, and when people come in and touch the trees, they stab them. Right?
Pretty cool.
Right? So that's what I want out of loyalist Space Marine. I want Wolfen to turn up that are like kind of like a bit like Blood Angels, you know. We've come to help the humans on this planet. Oops, we killed them all.
but
You know? But or like
I feel like Dark Angels are the ones that are a bit like
Or even
psychotic.
Templars
Oh,
are mental.
Templars are basically turned to corn.
but they're
aren't
just
they?
like, yeah, but now they've gone too religious nutter. You know?
So I don't.
But isn't that what you want?
No, yeah,
Like, they're on like the edge of heresy.
I want like when Night Lords were loyalist, right?
Yeah.
Questionable things, go in, do some questionable stuff.
I do
shady.
think that is the Black Templar vibe, though, isn't
Nah,
it?
they're
They do
really
some
good.
really questionable stuff.
Yeah, Black Templars are like on the verge of being
They are like
mentalist.
so on the line of
Yeah,
what's
but they're
okay.
like protect the humans, you know.
I don't.
Who? What,
You want them to be
Templars?
loyal. You just
They
want them
do
to be
not
loyal as
protect
well.
the
Yeah,
humans.
but I just want
He's talking shit. Right.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
you people just don't understand.
No.
You don't understand me.
Understand me.
No. We've got loads to get through and we're over time already. This is so you.
There's three of us here. I'm not the only one that's talking.
Mostly.
I'm going to go for an angry wee.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck's
What I'm gonna do?
sake, honest to God.
Angry wee.
We need to get you
I'm
checked
gonna cry.
again. It's got worse again somehow.
It's 'cause it's cold. It gets worse.
Have you been on the Ketamine?
Erebus, thank you for the $5. Fabulous Bill is easily my second favourite 40k character. Joe loves my favourite character.
Yeah.
So he does. I can confirm
He
this
told
because
me
he's left
earlier.
the fucking seat
Erebus
again.
is literally
Joe's
on his
favourite character
arse.
in the whole of Warhammer 40k is Erebus, and he has him tattooed on his penis.
Yeah.
So super psyched for this detachment. 2 CP for 3 buffs is epic. It isn't. So I agree with the first 2/3 of your super chat, without doubt. It won't let me love it. There we go. I agree with you. First 2/3 of your super chat, without doubt. 2 CP for 3 buffs would take a D3 mortal wounds is not epic. Not when
No.
you've got those other 4 1 CP stratagems. 2 CP
Like, yeah,
to pick
like
a third
the-
buff is overcosted when you've and taking D3 mortals when you've got those other 4 stratagems.
The last 2 strats I can see using every single battle round. I can't see using the other ones that much.
Yeah.
With advance and charge, bring a guy back.
Advance and charge, bring a guy back, lightning fast react, and fight on death. The fight on death one.
That's a maybe for me.
The fight on death one for 4 up is a little bit more. Is he not muted himself? Fucking honest to God.
Is he not?
He's unbelievable. It's too late now for me to get up and mute it on the deck either.
Oh my God.
He's
having a day, isn't he?
Honestly, he's getting sacked at the end of the day, honestly.
So he doesn't say anything.
Here's
There it is.
flashing on the microphone now. Chat, if that's not worth gifted memberships, I don't know what is.
Oh God. Did he do it on purpose? That was a good point.
Joe,
Yarp.
unmute your mic.
I agree with this person.
I thought I had muted it.
No,
You definitely had not muted that. So that was a good bit of behind the scenes
No,
content.
Demonetized stream.
Yep.
Yeah, they didn't watch it.
Oh my God.
A good bit of ASMR.
I don't think I'll be honest with you, Lehman Russ. I don't think I needed that super chat. I think we're
feel like
aware. I think we're aware.
I like this person.
What?
Which person?
War Gunner.
What's he said? Tom should be hired full-time sack Joe. I mean,
we've had people do worse. Paddy did it the other day, didn't he?
Did he?
Paddy didn't mute himself when he went for a wee.
no, I muted him on the deck.
Oh. They heard someone wee the other day.
Not here.
Yeah, they did.
Not as I was here anyway. Erebus, thank you for the 5. He says 2 CP for 3 buffs is epic, and I was explaining why I don't think it is.
What is?
I don't think it's epic.
2 CP for 3 buffs being epic.
Is this the one where it battle shocks them, or is it? Oh no, the one where you get the
D3
extra...
mortals, and then
I think the real kicker there is just taking D3 mortals as well, because you're probably already taking D3 mortals when you fail your Dark Pact.
lol.
Joe.
Yeah. It's a good job. I love you, innit?
I'd go work at the corner shop, I suppose. You know?
I don't think they'd have you.
Oh, they're pretty desperate. It's making money.
Yeah.
To be fair, this has brought in some money for you.
Exclamation mark gift, please. We're at 45 members, which means you've outdone the Tuesday crew by 10 at least. Right, okay. Jeffrey Sutherland, thank you for the 1 gifted. Harborn, Mr. the Vortex Games, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
I hope you too are caught pissing.
How's that a positive hope for him?
I had a great conversation with someone when I had a wee in a hedge once. I stopped my car to go for a wee. Right?
No.
In the middle of nowhere.
Was it a police officer?
You just got around the corner up
No,
here.
I was stood there having a wee, and there's little, of all things, a little pug came running past me. And I was like, oh no. This old man walked past, and he was like, don't worry, do it all the time, you know?
Good wish.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, gets worse when you get older.
Yeah. Harley, thank you for the 5. As a Tau player with 4 detachments, 3 are okay, and one of those taking a big hit yesterday, I've really got my fingers crossed for 2 detachments.
I'd be shocked if they gave Tau 2.
I feel like
you're
you're just going to get 1 from Tau.
Considering the Custodies got 1 and they had one of the worst Codex releases, Tau are probably getting the same.
Yeah, I think they'll get 1, unfortunately. I'm not against Tau getting 2.
Realistically, what would they get for 2?
Well, that's what I don't.
A stealth detachment?
I feel like I would prefer a detachment that leans more into the auxiliaries working with the Tau, because we kind of have like almost like the Custodies one that works with the Sisters. We have 3 Tau ones where auxiliaries don't really offer you a lot, and then we have an auxiliary one which is just around Kroot.
Yeah.
And so I feel like a fifth detachment that makes them work together better would be cool.
Have they got
Fuck it, give them a melee detachment.
have they got a mounted?
Do they have any mounted units?
No, they've got
Mounted.
retaliation.
Yeah.
They've got the battlesuit one. They've got the
Retaliation.
2, whatever they're
Monk
called.
art, carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and
they
they've
have-
got the funny crew one.
All crisis suits cut the vehicle keyword.
They're all vehicles.
Why?
Yeah.
Which one got hit by the way?
So the one had a 3-inch deep strike, technically got nerfed.
retaliation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's 6 now. But I don't think that's a massive issue for them.
But everyone that had 3-inch deep strike got nerfed. So.
And also, like, Tau don't need to be 3 inches away to shoot you.
no,
I think like because obviously like I always envisioned Tau because obviously they're like strike teams, aren't they? Turn up in transports, disembark, shoot kind of thing. Army like lots of re-embark, move somewhere else, shoot. I think
A vehicle detachment could work.
I'd
like
a transport detachment would be cool
Yeah.
because you can take.
I mean, they
six-
already have bullshit with Devil Fitch and Breaches though.
Yeah, isn't one of the 2 kind of like that? I can't remember which one it is. I think it's the not index one. Does stuff like that already. I'd imagine they could get an actual like tank detachment potentially,
yeah.
which could be cool. I wouldn't be surprised if they
so
suddenly
their
get.
3-inch deep strike was 2 CP. It's now
That's
that
why.
sucks.
That's
yeah.
the sad. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that sucks. Okay.
That is a bit That should be one now. I think. I'd imagine it might
and
become
ethereal
one.
detachment.
so you
Do
don't
they,
get
are they
extra
still
AP.
a thing? Ethereals?
Yeah, they still exist. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
So they
seen
have
this.
named
I have not seen
ethereals
it
still. They
10.
still have Onshui.
Onvar and
They got a
I don't know.
couple, I think.
Yeah.
Ethereal detachment would be cool. I feel like I want something that lets lots of things work together in unison. You could go like transport vehicle heavy, I
Yeah.
guess, and give them something there. You could do something like they could use their shotguns in melee and stuff like that, which
Yeah.
would be cool.
Oh, they've also got 12-inch melter guns, so dropping 6 away means they don't get the melter.
Yeah, all the additional
Or
AP.
the-
Yeah, but
that's-
but no one else in the game now can deep strike in melter range.
Yeah, but it's still,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
still,
but
it's
it
still a
was-
big nerf to what they had.
It was kind of the archetype of the list before, I
Yeah.
think, but I guess.
But it was oppressive though.
I have played against it, and it is not fun to play against.
No.
I'll
So
say
all
that.
named ethereals went. They could bring back the invocation of the elements abilities to buff units. I'm into that.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Oh yeah,
Invocation of elements would be cool. I'd be into that.
they've
I'd
been
like that a
doing
lot.
quite a few infantry-based detachments in the Grot-mas thing, so
Yeah.
maybe it'll be somewhere like that.
Yeah, they might go. Well, there might just like be a breacher one or a crisis.
I would also
crisis
be.
suit one.
This is fucking far left field. I'd be mad for them. I'd be well happy for them to bring back the 8.
Oh yeah, I can't see it happening, but
No,
yeah.
I can't. But
It would be cool.
It doesn't fit the archetype of the detachments and how it would work. But I would love for them to bring back. the
I'd
8.
be really
like
cool.
a stealth detachment, stealth suits, and the.
With that.
That'd be cool. Yeah. There's an infiltrate big one that I can't remember the name of.
The
but-
Ghost Kill?
Yeah, it might
Yeah.
be that one. That'd be cool.
Ghost kill, stealth suits.
Ghost
you
Kill,
know.
model wise, my favourite town
Very
model.
cool. It's pretty good as well.
I quite like the crisis suit commander.
He's very good,
Yeah.
but the Ghost Kill with the have you ever built one with the compartment that opens up with the
Yeah.
little man sat inside? Love that.
I just like Farsight
Fucking
because
love
he's
that.
got a big sword.
Yeah. Buff infantry means far stronger breaches, which is busted. They are already busted. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be the breach
Ask Paddy.
detachment.
Adam, thank you for the 5. I can't wait for Mexico. I really can't wait for Mexico and to try the new Custodian Solar Spearhead. He's bringing the new Custodian Solar Spearhead tonight, chat. So I'm excited.
I
What's
love
Mexico?
the new
Mexico
Custodians.
is what Dan had on Tuesday.
Oh, he had like this weird.
It's burrito.
He had
was
this
it?
meat
Yeah.
tube.
Mexico's London
That was
Road.
odd.
Which is
Is
really
it London
nice.
Road? Which is,
I think it is. Yeah.
Mexico London Road is a Mexican takeaway place called Mexico.
Yeah.
And it's very nice food. It's really, really nice food.
Fair.
Adam, I'm gonna get it with you.
Wash your hands though first, right?
Nah. What I find really weird, right? People are more upset about the fact that I didn't wash my hands.
Who cares?
Yeah. All I'm
I
gonna do
don't
is
care.
put my fingers in my mouth and Liam's mouth.
Yes,
That's all.
exactly. Yeah. And if he washed his hands, what he would do before he put his fingers in my mouth is put his hands down his trousers anyway and readjust himself.
Yeah.
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 So
Happens
That-
a lot.
My junk is not the worst thing my hands have touched in this room.
no. Wee man, thank you for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, E-Man. I hope that the next time you go to a Christmas market, there is like a Santa Claus type person just handing out free presents.
God, you
Internet,
love
right?
a Christmas market.
Yeah, and like they're like it's like a useful present as well.
Yeah.
Like it's not like here's a spinning top. Like, no one wants a spinning top. They're like, it's like a Lynx Africa set. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That gets Joe
strong.
happy.
Yeah. Basically, Christmas is a great time when you're a man between the ages of 10 and 30, where people are like, here's your Lynx Africa set.
Yeah.
My
Good for the year.
eldest is 11. Basically, started properly using deodorant this year.
He just slapped the detergent
basically
on.
started properly using deodorant this year, and I don't know why, but Lou's got him Lynx Africa, and I was like, it's like a rite of
It
passage.
is literally
for a
a
man,
rite
isn't
of
it?
passage for that age.
Yeah, 100%.
I had a friend. At
Every
school,
secondary school locker is constantly smelling like that.
I had a friend at school whose parents had never, or no one had really told him how deodorant works.
Yeah.
And why. So what he'd do is he'd be like, I could put some deodorant on, and he'd leave the room.
Right.
Why? And I thought for ages it's because he had asthma, because he can't do it in a room. What he did, he literally stood outside the room, outside, like I saw him do it. We were in sixth form block. He literally went, covered his entire body. And I was like, armpits, and just do the old 1, 2, 3, 4, done.
Yeah, I do go into my eldest room in
Armpits
the mornings
crossed.
now when he's got dressed, and I feel like I go back in time. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Smells like a Stereophonics concert in here.
yeah.
Right.
Rambo, thank you for the 5. Me and a mate did a random draw for our next armies. Typically, we ended up drawing each other's top choices. We'll just swap then.
Yeah.
If you did a draw and you weren't happy with it, is it? I don't know. I don't know if I'd be happy. I don't know if I'd be like, I'm happy with the fact that I've picked something that I wouldn't normally go for and it's going to be interesting and fun, or whether that made me go, I don't really care.
I think you're better off if you're going to do random draws for next armies, as you both put a list in of armies you want to do.
Yeah, put like your top 5 favourite armies
Yeah.
and then get a random.
So it'd be like,
thing.
so for instance, our next year, I want to paint my Ultramarine army. I want to paint like White Scars.
That's a content
Drakari,
idea.
And then
That'd be cool, wouldn't it? If
Yeah.
you just like.
We can get like me, you, Tom, Paddy,
Yeah.
each put 5 in a pot for ourselves and draw them at random.
I would
Yeah.
write World Eaters 5 times.
You've already got one of these armies.
I'll have another one. There's always second World Eaters.
It's like second breakfast.
yeah.
No,
Every
yeah.
time Tom and it's like pub, it's like in Hot Fuzz. It's like that's
Oh,
the,
yeah.
That's the technique.
That is
We
the
did
pure
top
technique.
choices 3, okay. Plus, it's funny seeing someone else's take on army. I mean, it's not funny, it's interesting actually. The way I would run an army is often very different to the way Joe would run an
Yeah,
army. Despite the fact we're both melee people.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's a very melee channel, isn't it?
I'd love to do a Tau army, but I have zero interest in playing it.
Because of the shooting.
I just love the model range. I'd love to build and paint and
So they
convert
did-
up some cool posters.
They
for
did top
Tau.
3. What
Yeah.
would your top 3 be?
What for next army?
If we were to go, let's say we were to get to March, because I need to give myself time to paint some more. Let's say we get to March, and we go top 3 in a pot, right?
Yeah.
You draw one at random, and then the 3 of us will build it in a series. And I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not making promises here, chat. What would your top 3 be? What would you put in the pot?
Oh, and what? And then each person does the army, one of the 3 that they did.
So you would have to pick one of your top 3 out, and then you'd have to do that army. Which would
I'd probably do Drakari, because I really want to get a Drakari army done.
Yeah.
I'd like to revisit the White Scars
Okay.
that I started and
Yeah.
kind of never really.
So White Scars Drakari.
Space Wolves.
Okay.
Because I got loads and loads and loads of Space Wolf upgrade packs and bits and Forge World stuff back there, which I got to do a Space Wolf army and then never did it because we got Lees.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What would your 3 if they had to be different?
3 that I don't. Armies that I don't have already.
You can put armies. You'd have
mean,
to
yeah,
start them
like,
from scratch.
Space Wolves would definitely be one of them.
Yeah.
Tempted to say CSM.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
do like a bit of chaos.
Show Joe how to do it properly. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
With no Abaddon. Maybe I would quite like to do a Khorne Demons army,
That'd be cool.
especially if the detachment's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's probably
reckon
me.
I would go Drakari, Necrons, Grey Knights.
Yeah? Only if Grey Knights
Oh
had
no,
new
actually,
models.
I dropped Drakari because you already picked Drakari. I'd go Krieg, Necrons, Grey Knights.
Yeah.
There you go.
Would we have to do it so we don't have 2 people doing the same?
No,
Yeah, probably better if they have 2 doing the same.
I'll change Space Wolves then. You can have Space
I
Wolves.
can change. I can change to Ultramarines if you want.
I don't know. I think
I wouldn't actually want to do Grey Knights. I want to do Grey Knights, but I don't want to do Grey Knights.
yeah.
I want to do Grey Knights because I like Grey Knights. I don't want to do Grey Knights because I want the rules to be updated.
Or the models.
That's what I meant, the models,
Yeah.
not the rules, the models.
The models definitely need an update.
COVID brain still.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
Do GSC,
word
Joe.
bearers.
Okay, into
Oh,
it.
okay.
Because
You love Erebus.
not because I don't like Erebus, no, but I feel like they're an army that I'd want to make look really mean.
Yeah, I'm into it. I like word bearers a lot, actually.
You could get proper weird with the kit bash with that
Yeah.
one. That'd be fun.
Meat Squadron, thank you for the two. They sell plenty of codexes, just add more lore. Yeah, I agree. We spoke about that quite a lot. I agree with you, 100%. Lekman, thank you for the $5. I wish I could be more motivated to hobby right now, but I've been feeling so drained and apathetic to hobby game lately. I don't know what to do. It's always a hard one because one of my biggest hints and tips, one of my biggest suggestions to people at this point is don't force it.
Yeah.
Because if you force it, you could push too far in the other direction and end up being even worse off. The thing that I've often said to people if they really want to try and get back into the hobby is I say to them to go into their local hobby store or their local games workshop, just have a look round, have no bias towards an army that you currently play or an army that you collect, find a model, or if you've got a bunch of stuff in a garage or a room or whatever, go look, because I know Electman's got quite a lot of undone stuff. Go find, it doesn't have to be relevant to a current army, just a project that inspires you to actually sit there and do some. I've often found that I've grabbed a random model kit, and this will surprise most of you, normally not finished it, and at that point my mojo's back and I'm back into the actual army that I was collecting.
I think like things that aren't the hobby as well, as in terms of making stuff, is like listen to back library books, go and play Space Marine, play Dawn of War.
Yeah, there's so many different ways you can enjoy 40k now, with like the TV show coming, the video game, the hobby,
Electman's
playing the game, reading the lore.
Electman's predominantly an AOS man.
Oh, sorry, right.
But still,
I think there's a lot of different parts of the hobby, like playing games,
You've got
making the
Total
stuff,
War,
or reading the books.
which is old world, but
So
Total War's good.
sometimes, and I say this as a person who's exercised this on many an occasion, sometimes, honestly, just take a step back from it for a moment. Your hobby will never leave you normally.
Yeah.
And go and do something else. And it won't take too long if you're playing a new video game or if you're doing a new physical activity or whatever, where you'll be like, I actually want to sit down and do some hobbying again. And it will happen, almost definitely. So sometimes taking that break will be enough to get that mojo back in the future. I do often think that if you try and force that mojo, for the majority of us, specifically people with things like ADHD, if you try and force that mojo, it ends up making it worse. Yeah. And then your hobby ends up becoming a bit more of a chore, and you end up spending even longer before you get excited about it again. So just lean into the break, I reckon, at this point. And then eventually you'll start to go, I feel like doing my hobby, and then we can look at how we attack that again. Evan, thank you for the $10. I'm fine with them going digital, but I don't want updates every 3 months. Just because you can correct quickly doesn't mean they should change things. That's why I quit War Machine Wars. This is a tough one. And ultimately, this always comes down to the same answer, which so far they haven't fixed. And the same answer is, get your fucking rules right first time round.
Yeah.
That being said, and I don't think it's acceptable to be like, we can just put shit out because we can just fix it in 3 months.
Yeah.
That being said, where they think they've done a good job, and I'm sure often they think they've done a good job, and rules come out that are then broken, if they just left it alone because people didn't want updates every 3 months, a whole other bunch of people would complain that the balance issues are there. So sometimes they are a rock and a hard place.
So the main problem Games Workshop's got now in terms of rules. Actually, no, they've got a new rules writer who is actually very good. Like the new update is very much his influence in the case. So we're trying to course correct, get the boat straight. I think the problem is they had before a lot of playtesters who would give feedback, and a lot of the time Games Workshop wouldn't listen to it. They listen to some of it, but wouldn't enjoy it, or they go, "Thanks for your opinion, but we've already made the decision." And that was,
thanks for your opinion if it's wrong.
Yeah, that was infuriating. And they're like, "Oh, we're playtesting. Here's our feedback." And they go, "Oh yeah, we've put some stuff out already, so we're stuck on this course now. We can't change it." And now they've gone, "Well, we don't have playtesters anymore. We do have playtesters, but they're a very select few." And the problem is that because those playtesters aren't paid to do it, they're probably not giving all of their all of their thought process to it. So not enough people are getting eyes on before it's going out. What they need to do is go back to a situation where they've got more playtesters with more of an investment, so they are going to pay attention to it, and then both parties will listen to each other. That's the only way it works.
Well, the other thing as well is like playtesters do inherently, and we all are this way. I think the majority of us are this way. Honestly, everybody has an internal bias.
Yeah.
So I would be internally
Yeah.
biased towards Eldar and World Eaters and Dark Angels because they're all factions that I absolutely love. And you would be internally biased towards Chaos Space Marines. I'm sure you'd be going, we've been terrible for so long, I'm going to make sure we're a bit stronger.
Yeah.
And then your version of a bit stronger might be someone else's version of broken.
Yeah.
Because you think you've put them in a place where Chaos Space Marines should be. So it's not like it's done with any malice necessarily.
Yeah.
And there'll be playtesters out there who will be writing Eldar rules or Sisters rules like we saw from the Codex earlier, who I'm sure have gone, this is where they should be. And then it gets released to the wider world and other people go, this is broke as shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of it,
Yeah.
unfortunately, is there is opinion bias that exists and personal bias that exists towards factions. And a lot of people still are strung up on this is how it should work narratively. And you have to kind of accept the fact that Warhammer just doesn't work narratively on the tabletop.
Yeah.
Or you'd have 5 Space Marines and 1 Custodian at 2,000 points. Because that's what it would be, you know.
I definitely get the impression there's a strong Necron bias in the current rules writing team.
Yeah, you said this earlier.
Just because, well, it's just the fact that every single time they kind of smack down whatever the hype is for Necrons at the moment, another thing pops up for him. Like this new detachment is really, really good immediately after they've just put Hypocrite back in its place.
Yeah.
And also, even like the points updates yesterday, most armies got like maybe 1 change, 2 changes. And Necrons, they've like fully gone into it, fine-tuned like 10 different data sheets, either up or down. And it just feels like they're getting a lot more attention than a lot of other armies.
But again, Necrons are one of those where narratively they should be very powerful and strong.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And if you make them narratively accurate, they table certain things in no time at all. Like, it's very difficult. I get what you're saying. Like constant updates every 3 months does feel like a lot. And I think I was more comfortable when it was going to be potentially points, then balance, then points, then balance. So you're getting actually an update every 6 months. And we've seen a lot more changes. But speaking to one of the staff members at GW, who's relatively high up, who does a lot of the video briefings with us and stuff when they come up with some of these changes. I mean, their first 12 months of and definitely the first 6 months, but the first 12 months of 40k, they used the phrase that they were firefighting.
Yeah.
Because they released a bullshit game and they were firefighting. And I think we're starting to settle with it now. Actually, yesterday's changes, okay, we saw a significant change to Cult Ambush. We saw a significant change to Sisters. We saw lots of tiny tweaks to Space Marines. A lot of factions, no changes.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
changes
like
at all.
World Eaters, Death Guard, like basically nothing happened.
Eldar had nothing.
Eldar, yeah.
A lot of points.
CSM, like the bites went down 10 points.
A lot of
something
points
like
with tweaks. And like I said to you yesterday, guys, I went into the designer's commentary, 36 pages of designer's commentary, almost no changes.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what you want.
That means the core rules are now finally getting to a place where they don't need tweaking. They made a tweak to Overwatch. That was about it. I was sad to see they kept Pivot in there, but you know, I think they're doubling down on that.
I think Pivot is easier than what it was before.
Yeah.
Personally,
I still think it's
it is
underrequired.
annoying, but yeah,
If you deep strike 9 inches away, you require 9 inches of charge.
that
fixes the problem.
is 100% what they should do.
It fixes the problem. It's very simple. Lisby, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Liz. I hope that when you leave work today, your boss gives you an entire tray of Ferrero Rocher.
Oh,
A big
I
one.
do like a good Ferrero Rocher, actually. Yeah, I'm a fan of that. Good. So Galahad, thank you for the 1 gifted. Ash, thank you for the 2. Any chance the detachment rules as written gives you 2 times fate dice? What? Are you on crack?
Because he just asked for double fate dice.
The detachment rules as written gives you 2 times fate dice. Oh, you mean for Eldar tomorrow? You think that they're going to drop? No, because so the Farseer detachment, which gives you fate dice in the new codex, is in the new codex. The Grot-mas detachments are not going to be detachments that are in the new codex. Unless they replace the current core detachment for Eldar and change the army rule, at which point you wouldn't get double fate dice. So no, I don't think that's at risk at all. I don't think there's any risk of that.
Can you imagine?
I thought he was talking about the Chaos Space Marine detachment. I was like, what are you on about?
Yeah.
He rolled dice for buffs, but he's on about Eldar, of course. So no, I don't think there's any risk on that one at all. I don't think they're that they can make daft mistakes, but releasing a detachment that gives you fate dice on top of an army rule that gives you fate dice is just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, Simon, thank you for the 2. Come on, Ulthway Strike Force from Eye of Terror Codex. I love Ulthway.
Yeah.
Ulthway and Simon are my 2 favourite craft mods.
Yeah. The end of the game, Eldred has to die.
Kazara, thank you for the 5. Watch Silent King get whiffed by Gilliman in the new Dawn of Fire book while being the most oppressive Lord of War in the game from this detachment. Well, again, narrative, plot armor exists.
Yeah,
Good
Gilliman
old
can't
G-Man.
die, Neither can the Silent King.
Gilliman is literally the head of the Warhammer universe at this point, isn't he?
Yeah. Good old plot armor.
Yeah.
I do think he's probably one of the most oppressive guys in the new detachment. Makes him very good.
I mean, yeah, I love how it's like, oh, we've released this cool new rule for, generic Space Marine players to make all their units more cool. And it's like, no, it's just the Ultramarines update.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you take the Silent King and the new Necrons attachment, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, here's a cool vehicles thing that will help Doomsides and Ghost Arcs, and the Silent King's a vehicle.
Oh, this detachment that buffs all the things you were already taking.
Yeah. Erebus, thank you for the 5. For that wish, Joe, have another 5. 40k Erebus model would have me hard.
Nice.
And then thank you, Erebus, for 5 gifted memberships. He nearly took it away.
Erebus is such a great guy, isn't he, Joe?
Because your second hope for him was that he died, so he nearly didn't give the 5 gifted, but he gave 5 gifted, Joe. So
I hope that the next pizza you get from Domino's isn't 90% grease. Like, it's actually quite flavourful,
Strong.
You
Pretty
eat
good.
all of it, but it doesn't give you the shits,
Harley, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. Evan, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. The Linux Experiment, thank you for the 5. Put that in the Joe Angry Wee fund. Was it an Angry Wee, Joe?
Yeah, I said I was going for an angry wee.
Oh, okay.
Before I left. What I think what happened was I muted it when I stood up, walked into the kitchen, oh God, I need to mute it, and then unmuted it.
Thank you, Limey Panda, for the 5. The most professional stream on YouTube. And the show was pretty good too. Way!
Hey.
Chat, we're 5 gifted away from halfway to the target as well.
Yeah.
And we should be
It
finishing.
was a good wee though. I felt empty after.
Good.
Philip Maddock, Philbert, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
Which is a good wish. Jam it. Pizza is a jam.
Yeah.
I hope, Phil, that you invent a new pizza that takes the world by storm, like with toppings on it. You're like, oh, I don't know, gherkins and dragon fruit, something like that. Just something weird and wonderful that, like, it has to be. You have to patent because otherwise everyone will steal it.
This is why we keep him around tonight. So I know you're going to be pressing buttons tonight. I'm
Yeah.
playing Adam, but we have to keep Joe here sat in
To
a
fill
chair
the silence.
just for hopes.
Yeah.
Just
And the
for Joe
hopes.
hopes. Yeah. It's
God,
a
yeah, how
vital
would-
part of the channel nowadays.
Honestly, how would you do a stream without him with the hopes that have come? He's really implanted himself into the matrix of the stream.
He has, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that I'm too valuable now
Yeah.
to the channel. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Like if you got rid of me, your channel would.
Who
be...
am I replacing you with, Joe? Name another Joe in the world. It doesn't exist.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
It's impossible.
you can't. I hope that if I went right, your channel would just be like immediate 20,000 subs gone.
I mean, I don't think that would happen.
Yeah, and like
We'd probably lose some.
I don't know.
Ash, thank you for the 2. So we got piss ASMR, but not hand washing. Tut tut. Yeah, we've been through that. No,
Yeah.
Anybody out there who says they wash their hands every single time is lying.
Yeah.
Leaks Feeks, thank you for the 5. To shake the narrative up, they should bump off Coruscant Khan, but make it ironic, like he's flattened by someone on a bike.
Who even is Coruscant Khan?
He's the white scar.
He's the white
Is he
Scar.
that one character that
On
doesn't
foot
have
with
a bike?
with a
Yeah,
bird,
I love
yeah.
that. Yeah, he just gets flattened because he's not on a bike.
I found it really funny that in the 9th edition Codex Space Marine book, the supplement for White Scars, they put in a Khan on a bike, but didn't give Coruscant Khan a bike.
It's the dumbest thing, isn't it?
I don't understand the briefing when they designed Coruscant Khan as a Primaris character for White Scars. Why was the briefing not put him on a fucking bike?
Yeah.
How hard is that?
Because they designed a bike unit that got released in the starter box set. The Outriders
I don't get it.
came
I
in
don't-
that literal
so
game
dumb,
starter
isn't
box
it?
set.
Yeah.
I don't get why they went, let's put him on foot and give him a bird. Well, It's moronic.
Yeah.
To say the best.
Have
to say the
him
least.
sat on the back of an eagle with his arms spread.
Yeah.
Like
I'd have taken
Yeah.
that over just walking about.
We're not going to get to 50.
get him a
Jay.
jet bike or something, you know?
A jet bike, 100%.
That'd be cool.
Like Samael. Yeah, and then you could definitely run your faction
'Cause, like-
as then you could definitely run your faction as Ravenwing, so
Yeah.
that you actually get good rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ravenwing just do white scars but better.
They do.
It's sad.
They do.
They flip flop.
Space Wolves also do white scars but better.
Yeah. Yeah, because they got a whole bunch of characters on
They
giant
have
walls.
loads of mounted stuff.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be funny if Joe left and your sub was up by 50k? I mean,
Oh.
that's also possible.
that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love the human too much to get rid of him. Even if he's subpar at his job, I love him too much.
I'm really good at some aspects of my job, like the painting bit and not being here in the office. Like, I'm really good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad, thank you for the 10. I can see Games Workshop eventually doing either all free online rules and or all digital rules once the Amazon thing gets going. The current way they do them will turn off too many casual first-timers.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot about... This edition was branded as being built in such a way that was supposed to be more new player friendly. Now, there is a bunch of new players I've spoken to who have said that they have come into the hobby during this edition.
I don't like Wee Man anymore.
Yeah, I've just read Wee Man's comment.
Wee Man, you're dead to me.
Joe will ban you after this stream.
I mean, that last part is also true, yeah. So I do know a load of new people that have come to the hobby in recent editions who have said that it's becoming easier to understand and easier to consume. I have played since 7th, properly. I played properly-ish 5th and 6th, but I've definitely been playing tournaments and stuff since 7th. And I can absolutely see how this edition can be easy to get to grips with to start with than 7th edition, with the way that data sheets and stuff work and not having keywords all over the places and what have you. So I can see that, but I don't think they're good at the moment at bringing in casual first-timers. I can see it being better, but it's not good. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's potentially an improvement. But then the other thing as well is for casual first-timers. Although I also agree with you about the rules and how that will improve things, and if we see the Amazon deal over the course of the next 5 years monumentally increase the number of people that come into this hobby, I can absolutely see them wanting to streamline new people coming in. But actually, some of that burden of responsibility, I think, also sits on the current community. So more than the rules are too hard to understand, there's too much to read, the complaint I hear from people more than that is, I went to my local gaming store for a friendly game because I hadn't played 40k yet in 10th edition, and I came across some fucking dickweed that bought the latest meta list off a fucking netlist website, blah,
Yeah,
one
probably
LGT, and pulled my pants down in 2 turns and tabled me.
Yeah.
I hear that more often
Oh, yeah.
than I hear the rules are
I
a bit
remember like the
complicated.
first time I tried to get into Age of Sigmar, I had my old world Dark Elves, and the store manager was like, "Oh yeah, I'll teach you." I turned up, and he had 4 magma drops on the table, right, and then a bunch of berserks, and he literally tabled me at the start of the second turn because he double turned me. He's like, "Cool, you can go first." I was like, "Oh, cool," because we learn the movement. Then he went, and they tabled me because he's like, "It's like a roll. Oh, I can show you the double."
As a
turn
store
now."
manager,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Horrendous.
Yeah, and I was like, cool, I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not, I have this, like, this game is awful.
yeah.
So, yeah, they need to, also, I think Combat Patrol needs to be more like Spear. I'm not saying become Spearhead.
No, but you're right.
What I'm saying is that your Combat Patrol box set needs to be more representative of what a small strike force would be.
I think we're going to see over the course of the next 2, 3, 4 years, the combat patrol boxes changing subtly at first, but then changing quite radically eventually. And I think they're going to end up more Spearhead.
Because the new Blood Angels one gives you a character, an infantry squad, and 2 elite units, basically. Because you've got the character, the 10 intercessors, and...
I thought that one was pretty good.
But they are making odd choices. I look at the Guard Combat Patrol currently and think, that's a good, solid Guard Combat Patrol. 2 infantry squads, a artillery field battery, a command squad, and a sentinel. I look at the new one, 10 scions, 5 horses, and I'm like, this is shit now compared to the current one.
Yeah.
The new Custodes one is very good.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wardens.
Wardens, Terminators, Guard and a Blade Champ, I think.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree with you, Chad. I think you're right. I think we're silly if we don't think the GW are looking at the way they do rules constantly and wondering whether they're currently doing it the right way and whether it's time to change or not. Yeah. And I think that the Amazon deal, the footsie stuff that's going on, the company's becoming large and they need to break down that barrier for first-time casuals. But I also think that some of that burden of responsibility exists on the existing community. And I think on the whole, in the hobby, we need to work a little bit harder at slightly less gatekeepering.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a little bit of that goes on that's just what do you mean you haven't played since 2nd edition? You're not a real Warhammer fan. Who fucking cares? Yeah. More players is good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But hey. Right, anyway, we are well over time. And you got bonus wee-wee.
Yeah. Is that a first for the channel?
It's not the first. Someone's done a poo with the mic.
Have they?
Yeah. No, they haven't.
In the garage they did. Didn't poo in the garage, but someone went...
I don't think that's happened, Joe.
It has. It has.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Winters did it.
I don't think he did.
He did. He went to the toilet with his mic on.
I'm not sure that happened ever. I think I probably remember that.
Although I'm pretty sure Paddy went for a wee. Everyone, because I wasn't here, and then I remember being told that Paddy went for a wee live on stream.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I remember. Anyway,
I think you're just selectively remembering.
I think I do that a lot anyway. Just to make you look like the moron. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, you wonderful human beings. You did beat Tuesday, like Liam and Joe Show crew, by 10 members, which is impressive. Less super chats, but 10 members beat them. Well done. Well done, Thursday team, for beating Tuesday team. You're all amazing. Hopefully, you lot will come and join us tonight for a live game of 40k. We've got a live game of 40k at 7:30. Adam's coming down. He's bringing the new Dread detachment, the new Custodes thingy.
Something
solar dark side detachment.
It's the Dreadnought detachment.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be running elves because I missed them and I want to play a game of 40k. And Joe's kindly painted me a Bile army, or started to at least. So we've got that this evening. Tomorrow I'm at Warhamster World. If you're in the area, you can pop in and say hello, but I am going to be playing a friend that I haven't seen all year. Our table's at 10. We'll probably have some lunch there as well. I don't know what time I'm going to get back. I plan to get back and do a 40k after dark. If I get back at like 9 o'clock at night, I'm not doing an after dark. If I get back at like 7 o'clock at night, I will be doing an after dark. So keep an eye out in Discord for the scheduled stream. Hopefully there will be one. Also, there's no streaming this weekend because we're away for a Christmas ball, and I'm also not streaming Monday night because I'm hosting a podcast in here for my football club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not your football club.
My football club, yeah.
Yours, the football club you support.
Yes.
Yeah.
My football club, yeah.
Yeah. You're their fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a podcast being hosted in here, and I have to be here to run it all.
Or just make sure they don't steal stuff.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So there'll probably be a daytime Grot-mas stream on Monday, I guess, and then you won't get an evening stream. And then Tuesday we'll return with more Liam and Joe show and a live game of probably 40k Tuesday night. This is Joe's birthday stream, and I said to him, "What do you want to play? AOS or 40k?" And he said 40k.
I want to try, obviously, because I can't use the Chaos attachment on Thursday because I'm not playing, so I want to use the new Chaos Space Marine attachment on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I get to play Brom, which means that, it's going to be a long stream.
Yeah. Maximum donations for Joe's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Brom going to do orcs?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know if I think he thinks he's playing AOS.
Oh, right, okay.
So he'll be like, I got giants. I'm like, you haven't.
No, you don't, mate.
I've written you an Ultramarines list with the new Space Marine detachment. You've just got Tiggy.
Yeah.
I do. We've got a Terminator Libby out there.
He's got a librarian and he's got Tiggy. We could do the new Space Marine detachment.
Yeah, and I've got a Terminator librarian with like a generic base, I think, that you can use.
So that's Tuesday. All right, chat. So hopefully we'll see you tonight at 7:30. If not, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, have a wonderful time.